Yeah, whatever. Fix it later. Excuse me. All right. When last we left off, Andrew was about to die. That's. I think that's where we were.
I've got him right where I want him.
So you had come to this town.
Are we streaming?
Yeah. Everybody's broken, depressed. Bunch of guards show up to impound your boat. Andrew shot one in the face, and then it didn't go so well. Or maybe it went great. I don't know. You tell me. It went.
It's too soon to tell.
Yeah. So I fixed the map scale, which had been horribly off. As a result, you guys have now, got a little greater distance between you. Whatever, that's fine. You had a good run. I found out how badly off it was when I tried to put your boat on here, and the boat was like half the map. And honestly, your boat should probably be alongside the dock, but I'm not going to move it now. Andrew, Griff was last underneath the dock, but they all seem to know he's under there. There's another guard yelling about it who's also trying not to drown. Neither of them can swim. I think that's where we left off. You guys are up the hill a ways. I left combat. Actually, I guess I had not yet, but we probably could. I don't know. We'll stay in it for Griff. We'll see what happens. Great. I'll go turn by turn. That'll. Griff, what are you doing?
I guess I'll go get that guy. Or drown trying.
Describe to me what you're doing.
I'm gonna kick off this post at that guy, which it seems a lot farther than it was a minute ago.
Yeah.
But we'll try it. And just grapple and fight him.
In the water with your armors on.
Letting
go of the pier.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, you don't really have swim. Sure, give me an athletics check. Some sort of penalty that I'll decide when I stare at it.
That must be good enough.
Yeah, that's not real good. You're I guess probably trying to use the dock or whatever to kind of like, monkey bars your way across through handholds or I don't even know what, cross beams, crossboards, something. Since you don't really swim for a damn.
Yeah, however I got up here, last week.
Yeah. You make your way over to him pretty slowly. He sees you coming, and I mean, you can make like a brawling roll, and he'll make a brawling roll, and probably you're both gonna end up in the water without holding on to anything. But we'll see.
What is brawling based off of?
Brawling. Melee brawling.
Melee brawling. You could put points in it.
I guess melee. Which is weapon skill. Oh, that's pretty good. You didn't target anybody.
I didn't think I was going to hit.
It's like you don't even know how this game works. I'll go ahead and hit your crit. Given that you got a crit, I will allow you to have held on to the dock. Basically, you get over there and you kick the other guy into the water. He loses his grip and sinks. And takes
all right.
a little bit of damage.
That's one, just like
I have no idea how much because you didn't target him.
Well, that's okay. He'll just drown. It'll work out.
Yeah, probably. You just need to do that to all of them.
15 to go.
That did not go well for him. What's your strength?
40, I think. 40.
Base unarmed damages. It's probably strength bonus. So 4. His armor basically soaked the blow, other than the fact you got a crit. I guess he would take a point. Actually means we need one more crit. Alright, whatever. You kick him in the leg, but good. Falls in. Glub, glub, glub. Dirk, what are you doing up there up on the safety place of safeness?
I mean, I don't know what to do. I don't want to leave Griff behind, but I also don't know how I would, attack. I assume it's still 16 because I don't know that that one of them is drowned. So I think I'm just keeping an eye out and watching at the moment and seeing if there's an opportunity to do anything.
Well, you can't see anything from where you're at. There's a building in your way.
Well, I mean, I can peek out around, right, and see if they're following, right?
Well, then do it then.
Following. Well, then that's what I'm doing. I'm peeking out and seeing if they're following.
Sure, give me a perception roll.
You got it.
So you can't get an exact count of them or anything, and you don't have the greatest view to know if maybe they're like flanking off to the north. But what you do see is the ones you can see on the dock seem to be pulling back. The ones who were sword and shield and whatnot. The other ones, there's a couple running for the boat. One of them looks really badly wounded, and the other ones are trying to reload their crossbows. Meanwhile, you can see guys on the boat. Again, you don't get an exact count. I mean, obviously you can look at the map, but you see a bunch of guys on the boat with crossbows, kind of watching the area. They've all taken up some amount of cover on the boat. Not the guys on the dock, but on the boat, in case you guys start firing back. And a couple over here seem to be pointing under the dock and kind of like aiming their crossbows down there. Who knows if they have a good shot or not. Bernard, what are you doing?
Let's see. I was gonna come down to where Dirk is, so that I can look around that corner with my bow and potentially take a shot. I'm interested in whoever out here is actually reloading a crossbow right now.
That's these two.
These two? All right, then I will take a shot at that guy.
All right, make sure you do a -10 for moving.
All right. 9 trappings. Take that off. Put that on.
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Just do this one.
Which one?
The one the other one. The one you're
Okay.
targeting had fumbled or something at some point, and his crossbow fell in the water.
Okay.
He does not have a crossbow, so he's probably also running for the boat. You know what? He's got sword and shield out, and he's forming up with his buds.
All right.
They're definitely kind of getting in a formation and getting their shields up in front of them.
And you want a -10?
I believe that's the penalty for moving and shooting. Yeah.
Okay. Then I will take this. Wow, where do you add that? Oh, wait. I can just take a difficult. There we go.
Good hit. So you put an arrow in that guy.
Yep.
He will stop reloading and just run for the boat. Trent, what are you doing? You can reposition yourself a little bit too, Trent. I think we just kind of dragged you up there at the end of last session, so you can be more towards the party if you'd like.
I think I'm going to kind of swing around and head that way, yeah.
Tilly, you were fully behind that rock the last I checked, because they had been like looking for you as a target, and you were like, you'd basically like gone full cover the last I remember. Maybe you were reloading or something, but what are you doing now?
If I saw my friends run by, I would have gone with them.
Okay,
so can I be
fine. Yeah,
back
you can
here?
you can be up there. That's fine.
I'll be back over here with Dirk.
Okay.
Can I take a shot?
Much like them at a -10 right now, because you probably had to move into position around the corner or whatever once you saw everybody else peeking around.
Let me see if I'm loaded or not.
Who can say?
Who can say? I am. Where is it? I'm not loaded. I will attempt to reload.
Okay. Meanwhile, the 4 in formation are backing up. This guy was running. There are a bunch of guys with crossbows on the boat who are probably going to fire at the guy who just fired at them. So let's give that a whirl. Apparently don't have them in combat, so one moment.
100 yards? Is that even crossbow range?
We're going to find out. It was short range for your bow, so yeah, there's a chance.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
but
my
dude has
bow
a
is like
silly
3
bow.
times as good as their crossbows.
We'll find out.
You moved all those guys up a pip accidentally.
Like, slightly?
Yeah, like everyone on the boat moved up a grid space north.
Okay. I keep trying to unselect them and it's not working. Man, I don't know the best way to do this. I'm going to fire with one, and then if I don't do it with the actual guy, I'll forget who has what. Actually, I don't think that guy has a shot at me. I think it's the ones down here who would. Right? Let's eyeball that. Nah, it's not a good shot either. Although by that token, I'm not sure you would have shot either, Dave.
All right.
Move up a little bit. Like you're still hugging the house for cover, but I'll say kind of
I'm right about here then.
Yeah, I'll say kind of the guys on the north end of the boat don't have shots on you. You were probably, I assume you were trying to keep some cover from them. All right, crossbow. Let's find out. It's a -10 modifier. That's probably long range. I don't know. Let's see what it says. Long range. Yep. So one thuds into the house right next to you. Let's get this guy firing. I'll hit you.
Yep.
5 damage after your armor soaks. The 2 guys south of them would actually have the best shots on you, but they are busy kind of looking under the docks. One of them's trying to take aim. So they're both trying to take aim at Griff under there. But they didn't have a shot this round because he was, doing the melee and all that. They didn't really see him till the end of the round. So, but they're busy focused on that guy down there. It's not actually your turn, Adam. I don't know why I was way up there. Griff, what you doing down there?
Well, I want to,
You can probably see those guys on the boat, and that's probably about all you can see in terms of people.
I want to get that post between us, and I want to drink one of my healing potions, unless this guy is, reaching for me or whatever.
Give me an athletics roll.
I missed whatever you said.
Athletics, please. So you can either reposition this round, or you can drink your healing in this round.
I'll just not worry about my healing potion. Although I have 0 plus X wounds right now.
You move and get covered. That guy's flailing around trying to grab onto anything. I'm going to have a 5% chance of actually grabbing you. Nope. He sinks, and probably the river current pulls him away a bit, and he's, effectively dead. I mean, he's probably not that far yet, but
In the TV version of this, when I was beating him up, I pulled his hat off and I put my helmet on him, and now they think that's me going down the way.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
It'd be cool retroactively. Dirk, I thought your hat was on the boat.
I have a helmet.
Oh,
I can't wear my fancy captain's hat and my armor helmet at the same time. I don't think. At least to not look awesome.
You gotta get it modified. Well, let's see. I have like only a hand crossbow, which I don't think can. I think this is too far. I suspect.
I don't know. You could fire it and find out, or you could look at the range and try to. You don't know till you don't know, right? Here, I'll look at your thing.
And what I want to know is
range seems pretty short. Range says 10, so yeah, that's probably outside the range of that. What you would expect.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking based on like the one time I fired it. So yeah, I guess I'm just. Where does it say if it's loaded?
In your combat tab.
I haven't fired it in a while, so it really should
yours
be. But
doesn't say loaded. Maybe as a crossbow pistol, it doesn't need.
You just.
I don't know. I don't even see the option on yours.
Nifty. All right then. Well, then I will. I mean, I'm still keeping an eye to see if they are coming, but at the moment I don't know what to do because like I'm staying with the group, trying to figure out, what our next option is.
Bernard, it's you, and as you discovered, you've got like full cover against half these guys and like no cover against the ones on the other side.
Was this guy and this guy that shot at me?
Correct. Yeah.
All right.
And they'd be reloading this turn.
All right. Well, that guy's taking a arrow to the face.
Well, take a -20. They've got some cover from your boat.
All right. What? Hold on.
No longer the -10 though from moving, since you're no longer moving.
Oh, okay. Wow. We're right on the edge of short range, I guess.
Hey, good job.
Well, no, I don't have it. So -20.
Oh, the other guy you shot at was short range. I see.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a miss.
Yeah, your arrow goes flying over the boat.
All right.
Brent, how's it going? What you up to?
For the moment, just coming up, staying behind this building for a moment, but coming up towards the team to help out in some way or shape or form.
Okay. Tilly, you probably reloaded, I assume.
I did. Can I make a mad dash for this rock right here?
Sure. -10 to fire if you're moving, but yeah.
Oh, I'll do it.
And I'll give you, they'll be at -20 to shoot at you due to your cover.
Okay. Let's see. Combat. What'd you say the penalty was? -10?
Depends who you're shooting at. Well, -10 for moving.
Right.
And then possibly more depending who you're shooting at.
I'm shooting the guy on the top right here.
All right.
Actually, I'll shoot the guy on the bottom.
Remember how shields work with ranged? I feel like there's a thing. Anyone?
I don't remember.
Bueller. All right, we'll go ahead and shoot it. No. Maybe adjust it. Was the guy on the dock you're shooting at, you said?
Yeah, this guy right here.
You may also oppose incoming missile shots in your line of sight. All right, they can... Man, I don't know what they roll, but they actually get a defense roll since they have a shield. Maybe I'll do dodge. I don't really know. Yeah, think about that.
Is that not actually like in the rules somewhere?
Yeah, it doesn't say what skill to use, but it says you may oppose incoming shots if you have a shield.
I would assume that if you were trying to use your shield, it wouldn't actually be a dodge. You'd be trying to get the shield in the way.
I think it's
Yeah.
a block if you're using
There's-
your shield.
That's cool. There's no block skill. So, melee?
Yeah, melee basic, I would think. The +2 SL added to defender's roll.
Which one were you targeting him? Can you ping it? Oh, because of the shield?
Yeah.
Button for that. Why does this man have no sword? Oh, there's a shield. I can just hit that. Maybe. I might have to eyeball this. 2 SL, you think?
For like a standard shield,
Right now,
it's not a buckler.
He does have a standard shield. He's also, it's popping up defensive for him.
That's the quality you need it to have to be able to block with it, I think.
Oh, I thought that was for melee. I think it's, I wonder if it's his sword that's getting him. I think I have to unclick defensive to give 2 for the shield. But whatever, I'm doing that. Regardless, it looks like you hit him.
Hooray!
He crit you with his shield, though. He threw it 100 yards, Captain America style.
Yeah. It came back to him?
Yeah. Yeah, you shoot him, you know, you're such a crack shot that he had his shield up blocking most of his body, and he put it right in his leg.
I've been trained for this.
Training for this your whole life. Okay, Tilly. Well, you're gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy to the boat was very wounded. Hides. This guy, that guy also hides. This man's reloading. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4 people are shooting at Tilly.
Bring it on!
They'll probably miss. I think they're like 10%. Actually, they're not all going to shoot. 2 of them. You know what? They're not dumb as I am. The first one shots. The other ones are actually aiming so that they get a +10 next turn. These guys are reloading. Start Tilly and shouldn't have been. Just too bad because he totally would have hit you. That's what I get. It's not doing reloads for these guys. God damn it. Anyway, 1 reloaded. 1 didn't. Wait, these weren't even the guys. Shit, those weren't the guys. Those were the guys who were tracking Griff. So Griff went behind cover. What they're going to do instead, since there's now crossbow fire coming down on them, instead they look up the hill. They start aiming at Tilly too. Let's see if this one reloads. There we go. Now it's working. The guys reloading are kind of maximally behind cover. They're like crouched down, or probably very little of them's poking out. The same way Tilly does when she's reloading, typically.
The classic technique.
Yeah. These guys the guys on the dock are backing up, and they get on the boat. They probably don't quite have cover yet. I'm just going to move the
Unfortunately,
a little bit to make room for them.
Hey, Derek.
Yeah.
The guys who shot me had cover when it was my turn next. Are you saying that I can shoot and then get into cover immediately?
They've been in cover this whole damn time.
Okay.
You
just made that sound like there was more cover because they were reloading.
Yes and no. So, like, the guy shooting at you, I'm not saying you can shoot and immediately go into full cover. I'm saying the next round when you're doing a reload, like Tilly does, like, all last combat, she'd been behind a rock. When she was shooting, I assumed they were at, like, -10 or -20 to hit her, depending on, what I thought the cover was. When she was reloading, I had it at, like, -30, or even just they couldn't even shoot at her. Because I am assuming while she's reloading, she's down on the ground, maximally trying to cover body. Whereas if you're shooting back, like, there's got to be some part of you showing at some point during that round, right? So a lot of these guys on the boat, they've got like railing and whatever else is on your boat that they're using for cover. When they go to reload, maybe they're stepping into the doorway for a second, or whatever, crouching down fully. They're presenting much less of a target than when they're standing up. That said, most of these guys on the boat now you're at a -20 to hit, except for the melee guys who just boarded, because they're still they have not had an opportunity to get behind cover up there.
Okay.
That said, that's pretty much all of them. A couple shot, a whole bunch are taking aim. I don't know why I didn't have anyone shoot at Dave. I guess the two guys who could have shot at Dave were... Yeah, let me think about this. I said they were aiming at Tilly, but honestly, one of them should probably shoot at Bernard there. I'm going to do that.
Sure.
One of them's aiming for Tilly. One of them's taking a shot at Bernard.
All right.
He just misses you, though. That was a reload? Why is that? Oh, I accidentally fired. Whatever. That would have missed by a little bit more because of range, so you're fine. Check the other one.
What was it? Not a fumble?
Oh yeah, I guess it would have been. 1 sec.
He accidentally shoots through 6 of his guys on the boat, and they all die.
I doubt it.
Like Indiana Jones with that pistol.
Wait, what? When did
well, he only shot
6 guys?
He only shot through 3 guys, but crossbows are worse than a pistol, surely.
Where is the crit table? Fumble table. Rule book tables.
Maybe he'll just shoot himself in the face.
Crit table. GM booklet. Hit table. Where? No, I don't. I want the fumble table. Where's the fumble table? Oops table. Is it the oops table? Yeah, it's the oops table. That's a dumb name. Yeah, I don't know. He flubs his shot, and it's going to take him extra long to reload. I think I'll say. All right. Anyway, that did not work like I wanted. Griff, you're under there. No one took a shot at you. You got good cover. What you doing?
I'm hiding very still, and they won't know where I am anymore. And I am the only one with the ignition keys to the boat, so they can't take it.
Yeah, that's definitely how it works. Dirk, have you come up with anything to do?
I am no genius.
Bernard, what are you doing?
I'm gonna take a shot.
All right.
These two that were, you said which one of them's have a shot on me right now?
This guy fired at you and really whiffed it.
Yeah.
This guy could have a shot on you, but he seems to be focused more on where Tilly is. He's taking aim at her.
These three can see me.
Dude, I kind of moved some guys around, so let me check.
Pretty good.
Yeah, they would be
I
able to
just
see
want to
you.
know who's got a shot on me.
This guy's still reloading. You can probably maybe see like his head.
Okay.
The one
I'll take a
behind
shot at him,
him.
man.
The one behind him just reloaded. And the one behind him, I don't know. I guess he's loaded too.
I'll take a shot at the.
I think the one behind him just
reloaded.
never fired, and I don't know why, but here we are.
The one that just reloaded. I'll take a shot at him. You want that at minus what?
The one
20?
who just reloaded, since
Yeah.
he's going to pop up to take a shot this round, only minus 20.
Okay.
He doesn't have really good cover anymore because he's popping up from it. Well, that'll miss.
I'll re-roll that. Oh, were we supposed to get fortune points back?
Yep.
Because I didn't.
Yeah, let me do that. Go.
All right.
Tilly
I
with
just
6.
spent one.
Jesus.
I just spent one. Garbage. Your
All
turn.
right, yeah, you missed. Who we got? Trent. Running around. Trent, from my perspective, you could be there by now. I think we just kind of had dropped you pretty far on the map, just as I was dragging people away last night. I don't know that you had to be that far away, unless you wanted to be.
Game's paused.
My bad. It's space.
Hold on, let me see if that's actually close enough. Well, I want to be close to him, so I guess move up to kind of behind the building to hopefully not be within sight of anyone. Drag, move. There we go. Range on thing I want to do is 6 yards, so.
Okay.
That's it for this round.
Okay. Tilly, there you are.
I reload.
Okay. Cool. I'm just going to go down this list. Probably this one will fire. Let me double check this. It's got a shot. He'll fire at Bernard. He will spend advantage.
Okay. I'm dead.
Why won't it let me? He does indeed hit.
Mm-hmm.
He would hit anyway. What a waste of advantage.
All right.
Yeah, that one gets you in the ribs. You can do the typical thing where you blow one of your long-term points, though, to ignore the hit, if you wish.
Which one is that?
I don't remember the names, but it's the big one that doesn't come back.
Well, you can cancel the crit with a point of armor from your chest.
No. The only crits you can cancel with that are like the
Oh, this is okay.
He's below 0.
Yeah, okay.
He does not
It's
get
been
advantage for that because I don't believe you get advantage for a hit you spend advantage on.
I spent resilience. Sorry.
No, it's not resilience. It's well, okay. So resilience, the let me look at the names of these things. Resolve is the one that refreshes, sort of. No, is that not true?
It is. It resolves for doing minor things.
Dave, you should probably be at 2 resolve. You're at 1 out of 2, and
I used one a long time ago, and we've never gotten any back.
Almost no one ever uses them, so I never think of giving it back. Go ahead, you can have one back. Yep.
Oh,
Yep. At 2.
okay, so
That-
then I'm down to 2 resolve and 1 resilience.
Well, hold on, because resilience doesn't do what you think. Resolve, the tiny point you can spend to ignore conditions for a turn. Like if you got stunned, you could ignore the stun.
You can ignore all things for one round, or you can remove one condition.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Thank you. Resilience, the big point you use for like, I'm going to hit this guy. I rolled a 11 or whatever. You make up what happened. Like it's
also the one I spent to save my life.
No, fate is what you spend to save your life. So
okay.
fortune is what you spend for rerolls. Fate is kind of the big one of that. That one will completely. It's like fate intervened at the last minute. It hit your hip flask or whatever, and didn't actually hit you.
Resilience also lets you
down
resist mutations and corruption.
Yeah.
All right.
That too.
So for that not to critical me, I spend which one?
Fate, if you wish. And it's the whole hit didn't happen. So you also get back, I don't know what your life was at, but you get back your
4.
4. You're back at 4 life.
It really doesn't matter. If somebody hits me again, I'll have to spin it again.
Well, don't stand there.
Then don't stand there.
Okay.
I mean, I
move back and don't participate in the combat. That's apparently I can't.
Listen, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but if you're going to complain to me that you're getting hit by standing down there, okay.
I mean, they've got a shit ton of cover compared to what I apparently can make.
You have so what I consider for you here, you've got complete cover from some of them and no cover from the rest. You're on the edge of a building. There's either a lot of cover between you or no. I mean, I don't know. Tell me if you guys think I'm wrong here. If I draw a line from Dave to these, there's nothing in the way. If you get over here, there's stuff in the way. So I've had none of those guys shoot at him. For Adam, I've assumed he's got like cover he's popping up over. So it's like covering him from the waist down. And that's why I'm giving him the kind of the same cover they have, like a -20 effectively. Anyway, you know what? I froze. I'm back.
What just happened?
I was talking. I don't know if you heard me talking and explaining cover at all, but
it was like 3 people talking over each other.
It was all frozen on my end. So,
oh,
anyway,
yeah, we were talking to.
From my perspective, you've either got full cover or no cover, depending who's shooting at you. Whereas Adam's,
okay.
I mean, really, let's be realistic. Adam should be here, but in the scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, yes, that guy shot at you. There were a whole bunch who were aiming at Tilly. She is now fully behind cover, or at least 90%. So they're still just aiming. But if she pops back up, that might be bad news for her. The guys the melee guys who had gotten on the boat, now have a combination of like cover and their shield walls going. You can hear a guy yelling orders to get the boat moving, and probably a couple of them disappear. Like, I guess they wouldn't disappear. They'd go up here, unfurl the sails, haul up the anchor. I don't know. They're doing things. They're working on getting the boat moving. Various people. The melee dudes. I'll put them up here. I assume that's where you go. I don't know. I don't know where on the ship these things happen, but it seems reasonable. Pretty much there's a whole lot of people aiming where Tilly is. There was a guy who shot at Dave, and then everyone else who could shoot at Dave, I think, is busy reloading. Or this one guy who was decided Tilly was more important for some reason. He didn't like the coverage yet. So you only had the one shot on you this turn. But a lot of guys were reloading who could probably shoot at you now. It's next turn. That said, it's Griff. I'm going to look real quick while Griff's taking his turn at which guys need to reload and whether or not they succeeded. That guy sure didn't. So it was just 2 of them. All right. Griff, what are you doing?
I'm pretty happy right here, I think.
Okay. I didn't know if you were getting your potion out now. Now you could get your potion out. It was just like moving and getting it out. That was the problem before.
It seems like they might be leaving. I won't need my potion.
Yeah. Dirk, you doing anything?
No.
Bernard, what are you doing?
Move back around the building.
You can fire before you go if you want.
Dude, you're not gonna help?
I thought we couldn't. I thought we couldn't move after we shot. I would have been doing that the whole time.
No, you can move it. You can move and shoot. That's how you had the -10 round you moved up.
You're thinking of Garment.
Okay.
That's true. You are.
I'll shoot at this guy.
You do not have to shoot. I'm just trying to throw you a bone here because, free damage. That guy, you gotta. That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
That'll miss. Trent, you can follow along. Whatever he moved. I know you were trying to cast on him.
I mean, I'm not within sight of anyone, am I?
You probably are Let me see here. That's a good question. Maybe that guy. Maybe. But he's not looking at you anyway. So yeah. You're fine there. At the very least, you have really good cover given the way that line was going through.
I'm back behind the building.
Tilly, you, if you peek your head over the rock to look for your next shot, you see a whole lot of crossbows really pointed right at you. Based on how you've seen them shoot, most of them are going to miss, but the sheer number pointed at you is not great odds if you pop up.
Well, I just saw Dave get impaled, so that's another motivation for me.
You didn't actually. Didn't happen.
There's a big blood spot on the ground. I guess I'm gonna carefully run back behind this rock.
If you crawl, sure.
I crawl.
Basically, the rock's been giving you height cover, so if you were to stand up and run, you'd actually be presenting a target. But yeah, if you're doing a crawl, sure, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
That'd be all you do this round, but that's probably all you want to do this round. I'm going to give just them a general perception check. They do notice that you changed position, but none of them had a shot on you, really. But they did. They're not still waiting for you to pop from behind that one rock. Now they're kind of looking around for other targets. This guy in particular is looking back down where Griff was again. But you do see some more commotion on the boat. Probably the guys up on the north end who haven't done anything for 3 rounds. They're probably also helping get the boat moving. I don't really know how long that would take. If we're going out of combat time, that makes my life easier because I don't have to exactly decide. But we can stay in combat time if you guys want to keep taking shots and stuff.
I just want to leave.
Is there the bow range is better than the crossbow range? Do I think I could get somewhere where I could still be taking shots at them and they'd have a really hard time taking shots at me?
I don't know what you're.
Just from a range perspective, can I back up hard
mechanically speaking, the answer is probably yes, right? If your weapon has more range than theirs, then yes, there's probably a spot. Whether or not you could accurately judge exactly where their crossbows are going to fall out of range, I don't know.
Okay.
You'll get out. Maybe if you're on the roof of the church, you could be taking some hard shots. Then you doubt they could fire back. I can't give you the answer because I don't really think the guy would know.
I'd like to get back to this corner maybe. So just head back in this direction, but I can't tell because my movement's already red.
Oh, well, we got to go to the next round. Yeah, here. Actually, I'll leave combat. Unless, Griff, does it matter for you round by round?
Only if they're going to have shots on me, but I feel like I can maintain cover.
If they take shots at you, it won't be till the boat starts moving.
Yeah.
So I will just end combat, which is we can get out of round by round, and you guys can kind of tell me in general. I'll just go one by one. Tilly, you would crawl behind a rock. What's your overall plan right now? Is that a happy place, or are you trying to
I want to
Right
not
for the
die.
building. All right,
Yeah.
right now staying there is probably safest.
Okay.
Because you know they probably could still fire this far. They could hit you. If you're not in a hurry to be over there, you're safer right here, right now.
I crawl all the way back, back here.
That's fair. All right. So eventually you could circle around and get there, in a couple minutes or something. Dirk, you've been watching, waiting. I assume you're gonna kind of stick to the party. Trent, what was going on with you?
Waiting until I need to do something to support others, I guess, because I got no ranged attacks myself.
I just realized we got William, Theodore, and Renee here. They are probably huddled up against that side of the
They
building.
are totally useless. They're getting a dock in their pay.
You didn't hire
We're
them
paying
for
them for that.
combat capabilities.
Well, then they're just getting fired.
Plus, you didn't give them the code word for "I'm about to fight 20 guys."
We no longer have a boat, so they're basically out of a job anyway.
I mean, that's technically true. Bernard, what are you up to?
I was gonna circle around this building and head to this corner.
Dirk, who are you? I'm going to flip back to you, Dirk, since everybody's kind of splitting up. What are you doing?
I'm going to keep with Trent and try and wrangle our non-combatant friends.
So they're mostly keeping their shit together because they haven't been shot at or even shot yet. This is like, you guys are actually taking cover outside what used to be like a general store that is now out of business, abandoned. So they probably actually like are inside the building, like in the doorway right now, because it seems the safest place to be. So wrangle them how? Like, what do you want to do with them?
Well, like if Trent is going anywhere, I'm going to follow him and make sure they are coming with. So just like try and urge them to follow us.
Sure, give me a leadership test. And if you don't have that, that would be fellowship. You do have it. Everybody has it. That is good enough in this situation that if you do end up telling them to move, they'll follow along, assuming you're not like marching them down to the boat or something. All right.
Yeah.
So, Dave, you're looking for a position. Tell me ultimately where you're trying to get.
I'm running around this edge of the building down to here.
Okay.
The opposite end of the building Tilly's at.
Sure. Tilly, as you were crawling up towards that building, eventually you stood up and ran. Luckily for you, no one shot, just because you were pretty far range at that point. But this whole thing goes slightly uphill, so eventually your rocks were kind of not providing cover as you crawled away. That said, Dave, those rocks aren't really in your way from back here, just because you're above them, essentially.
So I get over to...
Yeah, you can move around. We're kind of out of combat time. Just show me.
All
I
right.
think you're the one who wants to eventually take some shots here. Andrew's internet just went out.
Yeah, my PC's acting funny, so I'm gonna reboot right now.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, that's why it needs to update. So I'm gonna update and reboot. So that's gonna take a couple.
You know what?
Minutes.
Let's take like a 5-minute break anyway. I need to get a drink. I wouldn't mind using the restroom. People have internet issues and stuff. We'll just 5-minute break. We'll be back.
All right.
So Dave,
Yeah.
+10 to toughness, +10 to strength, +10 to weapon skill, or chance for them to not be able to shoot at you.
The chance to not be able to shoot at me would be good.
Okay.
Yeah, because one hit and I'm done. Actually, yeah, one hit and I'm done. I got 4 hit points left.
Testing.
You there?
Yep.
Hooray! It worked. Thank you.
Not sure what to do if Andrew doesn't come back, given that his character's in a pretty precarious position.
Well, he's trying to take the boat from the bottom. So you know, we'll I'll provide him cover fire. How's that?
He's gonna crawl on board and set off your explosives.
Well, I'd hope not.
Oh, he's just gonna fight 15 people.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's what he would do.
Wait, you can hear me right now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Wonder what mic this is using, because I just realized I got my Blue Yeti muted. Interesting.
Your headphones, your does your camera have a mic in it?
It must be doing that, I guess.
It doesn't sound bad.
Almost all of them do. It should tell you.
Well, it says it's using NVIDIA Broadcast, so I have to look at what NVIDIA Broadcast is using. It's supposed to be using the Blue Yeti, but it is using the webcam. Wow. Is this better or worse?
That's
Louder,
louder.
but the same quality, I would say.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay. And see if the stream's still picking up. Yeah. I don't know why I still stream this. I haven't looked at one of these in forever.
Somebody watches it.
It's for Andrew to look at in 10 years.
It's true. Yeah.
So he can remember the good old days.
What happens in 10 years?
That's usually when he's feeling nostalgic and he'll go back and check it out.
That's when the content becomes good. 10 years.
It has to age.
Fine wine.
Yep.
I would very much like to go back and listen to that time that a wyvern ate you and then fell on you, but we didn't record that one.
That would be great. You
was
never
a long
know.
time ago. It's not worth talking about. It's too long ago.
Question is, better in our memories than than the reality. If you were to
As I
release it.
recall, we had 19 unarmored peasants with us, or slaves. We were and then Garmin out of armor, and
I don't have armor.
20 chance of being the target.
Yes, Derek said, "Yeah, I'll make it a 1 in 20 chance," and he rolls a 20. And then he says, "Well, the wyvern picks you up, that actually woke me up since I had the deep sleep flaw. And then I got fireballed.
That was he, right?
By the thief with the
The
ring.
ring. It was the ring. Same as always.
That ring who hit a party member every time a fireball came out of it.
Yeah, didn't he kill Neil's pixie fairy that way or something?
Matt's. Yeah, Neil's pixie fairy. He hit me with it. I didn't die from the fireball. I didn't die from the fall. I died when the wyvern fell on top of me.
Yeah.
Even I've heard this story.
It was a hard time.
Yeah.
Well, now that one viewer who sometimes listens can hear it.
The best time was when Derek hit me with like a scimitar or whatever, and then said, "How many hit points do you have?" And I said 35, and he said, "I can do that."
You said enough, and Derek goes, "Really?"
Explode. And then proceeded to penetrate like 6 times.
Hey, since we've been playing, I watched an episode that I missed when Klug died. You let him get buried in sand. And I was like, what the heck? What happened?
You weren't there.
You weren't even there for your main man Klug's death?
No.
Do you think had you been there, he would have survived?
Probably. I take good care of my good friends.
Your slaves?
my friends. My close friends.
You could bring a goblin into our party named Klug. We could keep it going.
So we had paused for a minute when you lost connection, Andrew. So Bernard, I assume you're maximizing your cover so that you can see just somebody and take a shot, right?
What I would like to do is peek out, and if I could see anybody that's trying to set the boat in motion, just really interfere with them, shoot them if I can.
I imagine that's mostly the people on the north end of the boat, based on the graphic.
Okay,
I don't really know, to be honest. Sure, you can shoot at someone who's doing stuff with the boat.
Yeah, I want to I want to interfere with their ability to move the boat as much as possible.
Sure, let's pretend it's this guy right here.
Okay. All right. You know, just take a combat shot on him.
Yeah.
All right. What's the detriment?
It says for the range. That's it.
Oh, well,
he doesn't have cover because he's running around doing stuff. Oh, and that bunk. He's, I don't know, doing boat terms. I don't know what they are. Hoisting the sail, something.
Hoisting the sail.
Yeah, sure. And you put an arrow. Well, I guess it glances off his helm, given that he's not dead, but.
And I'm gonna do this continuously. Just as long as there's somebody that looks like they're trying to get the boat moving, I'm gonna take a shot.
There's you don't have enough arrows for the number of people. Like that's fine. You can be harassing them, but it's not like. Yeah. You'll slow them down. It won't stop them.
Dirk can go buy more arrows while he's doing this.
I am going
to I have 40 arrows on me, so yeah, that's about it.
Turns out they have a 10% chance to hit. Some guy hurts himself by shooting at you. Doesn't make any sense, but here we are. The other ones are taking aim.
Hit me.
So should you stay at that position in a round or two, they'll be fine.
I'll definitely move if they start aiming. I'll run around behind the building and try to come out the other side.
Sure.
At a spot where I may be able to shoot them.
What even is the aim bonus? I've been doing 10. I don't actually know what it is. It's probably 20.
What bonus?
Aiming bonus. I didn't give them enough bonus. Shame on me. And I assume you can only aim once.
You can't just sit there and continuously.
You can continue to aim if you,
Dave,
don't have a shot.
just
won't
pick
help you.
here. Shoot at this guy.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume you're taking a shot, you're running around the building, you're taking another shot, you're running around the building, and basically you're firing and disappearing before they can really fire back.
That suffered a lot from running.
Yeah, go ahead and do another one at that guy. I'm gonna give you like 5 shots total here.
Okay.
This is just you kind of like hit and running.
Yeah, man.
50-50. You're gonna expect to hit 2 or 3 of these.
Yeah. 50% means I miss. Well,
All right.
I've hit 2.
Now
4.
you can fire at the same guy again for this one, and then your last shot will be on someone else.
Okay.
Well, if this guy gets hit again, it'll be on someone else. Anyone who gets really wounded is basically gonna look for cover. How many 56s did you just roll? Just 2.
But I got a 50. My target's 50. And last shot. That's a hit.
Yep.
Yay.
So actually, you do drop one of them in all your hitting and running. Probably that means he'll die. I'm going to give them a 10% chance to save him. Yeah, he dies. You make him invisible, but that works. All right. So you're doing hit and runs, poking around buildings, making sure you're not coming back out the same place, making sure you're at enough distance where it'd be hard for them to fire back anyway. In that time, though, they do get the boat moving. Griff, every time you've peeked out, there's been a dude who's like got a crossbow trained on you. Your area. He's just dying for a shot, but you haven't given him one.
That's just rude.
Yeah. But as the boat finally starts to move, he does finally get a shot.
I'm gonna take my helmet off and like poke it around his side a little bit, maybe.
Yeah,
we'll go for that.
That's a good bluff. Let me give him an intelligence test. That's pretty bad, so you're going to have to just not fail by 5 on... What kind of skill do you think would be appropriate for that kind of bluff? Let's just do athletics.
Melee.
Don't roll a 99, I think, and you're good. Yeah. You convincingly stick your helm out and well, you know what?
Shoots it out of your hand.
Honestly, with the bonus, that probably would have hit. That would have hit exactly. I think he had a 45 skill, and I think he would have had a plus 10. So yeah, he puts a crossbow bolt into your helm as the boat's kind of coming south and then turning around to go north. And then you hear him cheer and then curse as he realizes he didn't actually brain you.
I don't know. Maybe he did. Look, it's falling down. It went in the water. I am slaying. I yell.
It's a pretty bad perception roll. Give me a stealth roll to hide out of sight on the pillar.
I'll get real low in the water. So give
me a stealth roll. Yeah, you won by more than he did. So yeah, he buys it. He thinks he got you. And off they go to the north with your boat. Your impression is it's less about your boat, although obviously they were here to impound it, and more about they didn't have horses. So if they were going to get back to the castle, this was probably the safest way for them to do that, short of just having you guys shoot them in the back a lot. Or they could have all run up the hill towards you, but I don't know. They didn't seem to want to do that for whatever reason. Probably because it's suicidal.
Not a very good plan.
Yeah. So off they go to the north. Dave, you can take one more parting shot on the guy who shot at Griff right here.
Okay.
Well, he foolishly was hanging out with not any cover because he wanted that shot. He'd been waiting minutes to shoot Griff. And you got him.
Yeah.
You didn't kill him or anything, but you got him. All right.
He yells, I am.
the boat heads off to the north. At this point, what villagers there are, a lot of the beggars and stuff had scattered. A few of the villagers had poked their heads out to see what all was going on and closed the doors again. That fat dude who invited you for dinner is like poking his head out here and watching with a very concerned expression. The innkeeper probably comes out the front door, looks for a minute, and goes right back inside. Yeah. Certainly people know you just got into it with the guards. No one's coming to help, but no one's coming to harass you either.
All right, if you recall, after shooting Kratz in the face, I dropped my gun and pulled the sword. So if none of the soldiers have taken my gun, I will recover it. If they have taken it, let me know.
Anything you dropped up there is still there. They did not have the presence of mind to loot. In fact, they left their fallen comrades behind.
And then I'm interested in Kratz and what he may or may not have on him that's any good.
I will look at that. Meanwhile, the beggars are coming up to the dock now that the boat is gone, and essentially swarming the bodies as well. Although you certainly have time on them, they'd be doing that more as you finish up whatever looting you're doing here. I gotta put the PDF to see what this guy has. No, I don't. I can look at his sheet. So apparently they don't carry their coin around on duty. Well, they should, though. They should have some for drink. He's got, near his body, he was using a flail and a shield, a little different. Most of the guys had like a sword. You see that he had some brass knuckles like tucked into his belt that he was not wearing. A handful of coins, like some silver and brass, nothing major. And yeah, that full face helm, which is now split in half. A sleeved male shirt and male pants. No keys, nothing really of interest. I'm sure he's got whatever, like his uniform, the cloak they wear or whatever to, mark them as guards.
Did he have anything that marked him as the dude in charge?
I mean, if we look at the pictures, he's
wearing a kick-ass necklace.
His armor looked a lot more platey, even though it wasn't. No, not really. He was in charge because he was the one talking to you, is really what it amounted to. The only real difference was he was using a flail. You doubt that's a position of rank thing. Like, you must be trained in the flail to command these troops. So by my count, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dead, and there were like 4 wounded-ish. About 5 wounded.
Do they all have the messed up faces that he did?
Yeah, as you start pulling the helmets off to see, yeah, they all have like weirdly decayed flesh under there. Like it's actually hard for you to look at. And you probably don't really want to touch it. You're afraid of corruption or something.
All right.
But yeah, they are all like that.
Assuming they're just standard knuckle dusters, I have taken them and put them on my shirt.
They are standard.
And then, whatever paltry coin, but we can just sort of call that a wash with drinking and whatever.
Maybe they say Kratz on them, on the 5 knuckles.
Maybe they will. Maybe I will engrave them myself and claim that they said Kratz on them.
They do.
After I learn how to spell Kratz.
5 knuckles, 5 letters, K-A-R-T-Z. Yeah, I feel like that's where his money went.
Yeah, but you don't usually put the knuckle duster across your thumb.
So Griff, your black powder supplies are currently rendered useless. But maybe you have party members who can share. If you would like to use your guns later. You have not seen anywhere in this town where you could buy more black powder, essentially. But the actual shot, like the ball bearings and whatever that you shoot, those
Right.
are all still fine. It's just whatever you pack it with.
I'll have to buy myself a waterproof pouch for next time.
So yeah, I don't know. What were you guys doing on this particular day before this happened? I don't even remember. Was it morning?
We had went up to the
castle. You come back. You done?
Thought we grabbed
you've
lunch.
been drinking. Yeah, you guys were in the tavern when this went down, right? And then your
Yeah,
people came
someone
out running.
told us. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so right now it's probably mid-afternoon.
That was awesome. How'd you guys do?
All right, I'll drink one of these potions I have. What's the difference between a poultice and a drought?
Drought you drink, and poultice is like applied topically, I believe.
Okay.
I thought a poultice was like
That'll stop bleeding and stuff.
I thought it was like the cartoon thing that you'd see when someone has a toothache and they tie it around their head with a knot at the top. I thought that was a poultice.
Well, it's a soft, moist, massive material, typically of plant material or flour, applied to the body to relieve soreness and inflammation, and kept in place with a cloth. So
Okay.
I think we're all right. Yeah. What in general are you guys working towards here?
Well, I think we need to go get our boat back.
Yeah.
How do you?
How do we get our hit points back?
Get Candy, get our boat back.
I can just do a heal roll on you.
Sure, we can.
I don't know about that one.
It's never gone wrong before.
So ChatGPT says that black powder totally could work if it dries appropriately, but it's risky and unreliable. So that sounds right up my alley.
Yeah.
I just gotta go like spread it on a sheet on a rock or something.
Days later, it'll work. Are we gonna try to do anything else? Maybe gather some information in town, see if we can get into that place.
I can't even change into my fancy clothes for our dinner party.
Do you think they're going to come down from the castle and attack us?
No, I think we need to go sneak in there.
I mean, today. There's probably more of them, right?
Oh yeah.
They didn't send everyone out of the castle.
Yeah, I'd rather go sooner than later. But I'd like to come up with some kind of plan on how to get in without getting shot at the front gate.
Yeah.
Let's just talk our way in.
I think do we have any coin on us, or is all the coin in the boat?
Everything I had was on the boat.
Okay.
Because I have cash.
Because I would say we should try and bribe some locals and see if there are any inns to the castle that are like, sewer grates or stuff that are out of the way that maybe they don't know, that the guards don't know about. But if we don't have a way to bribe them, that's not going to work very well.
Where are you guys doing your talking? Outside the shop here?
I reckon out of earshot of beggars as much as possible.
No, I think I'd talk right next to the beggars and let them know that, hey, we're trying to. These people have poisoned your town. And now they've stolen our boat. I'm after finding this many screwed up people coming from that castle, I'm pretty much believing the fact that these guys have warpstone somewhere up at the castle and it's poisoning this whole land.
That reminds me, the beggars went over there to loot the bodies, and when they started seeing the
Oh, so they weren't familiar with this?
Yeah, when they saw their helmets off, they scattered. Like it was the sort of thing you guys normally would have to make fear checks for. I wasn't going to make you do it for the dead bodies, but certainly the beggars see that and they go running.
Right.
That didn't seem like a well-known thing. You guys are talking for a little while, and a woman comes up to you. You haven't seen her. I mean, maybe you've seen her around town, but like you haven't talked to her before. And she says, they're going to be sending more guards down here. Like there's some people you should meet who might be able to help you.
What kind of people?
Well, I mean,
Resistant?
the Wittgensteins call them outlaws, but really they're just anyone who stood up to the guards in any way at all. There's
Please
not
lead the
many.
way.
It's into the forest. If like we need to go now if we're going because we don't want to be there at dark. He's kind of glancing around.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Let's go.
I want to know if I trust her.
You mean intuition roll?
Correct.
Actually, I'm going to do an intuition roll for you.
Oh my god!
I don't want you to see it.
Secret?
Oh my god! We're in the big times now, fellas.
Oh my god! Dirk, you're just not sure.
I want an intuition roll to see if Dirk trusts her.
Well, I did it for all of you. Tilly thinks this lady's exceptionally honest. I already rolled for you, Griff.
Yeah, that phrasing was suspect, Derek. Come on.
I was rolling for something else.
Like Dirk, you just don't know.
Okay. I mean, I am a town-renowned thief, so I can really judge people.
A where renowned?
Town.
Town? Like this town?
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. Whatever town that I am from.
Some other town somewhere you're renowned as a thief, and therefore.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not so arrogant to suggest I'm world renowned. Come on. So I'm probably, town renowned, that level.
Town renowned.
Isn't being a renowned thief bad?
Yeah, isn't that? That implies you're not very good at it. Well, if you're willing to go with her,
yes.
Tilly trusts her.
Let's meet Robin Hood and his band of merry men.
You trek about a mile through the forest. There's a lot of forest surrounding the town. This is kind of off to the west northwest, so a little bit in the direction of the castle, but I mean, kind of more inland. Whereas the castle's on the coast. It takes you probably just a little over half an hour to reach there. The forest itself, I think I showed you a picture last week. Like the trees are in this area look sickly, gnarled, twisted. You can understand why you might not want to be out here at dark. She mentions she mentions while you're walking, like you not want to be here out at dark. There's lots of beastmen and stuff in these woods, and other things that she doesn't even know what they are. But anyone who's wanders out here at night usually dies or is never seen again, rather. But she takes you to kind of a small hidden camp, which effectively, is, kind of like the Robin Hood Band of Merry Men camp without the merriness. It's a collection of about, I used to know the number. Say about 20 people. And their leader is a woman named, God damn it, this PDF is all over the place. Sigrid. Here, I'm just going to drop her on the map and see a picture of her.
Tilly should challenge Sigrid to an archery contest.
Here's Hilda. And as you're walking with her, she's talking a little bit. She's.
Wait, are you showing something on the map?
I just dropped tokens next to you.
Okay. All right.
Hilda's the miller's daughter here in town.
She's holding a football.
She tells you. I think that's a sack of flour. Many people have lost loved ones who have been essentially abducted by the guard. Usually under some sort of pretext of them having broken the law, but sometimes they don't even bother. And most of the time they're carted off and never seen again. The woman she's taking you to, kind of the leader of this group of outlaws, so to speak, although really they're not really outlaws from the town perspective, just from the castle perspective, is Sigrid. She had her husband about a year ago was carted off with no explanation or justification, and she had grabbed a sword and run one of the guards through, and then had to flee. And I guess she's been the one who's kind of been organizing and gathering people to her. So yeah, you get to a little camp in the forest. Everybody looks not well trained, but they all look like they probably have cool scores up in the 40 mid 40s range. They're a little harder than the normal townsfolk people you run into. They've been out here for a while. They've had to live in this forest, although they've definitely got, like, you see traps on the perimeter. Like when Hilda leads you out there, she's like navigating you around some traps, and she says it's as much for the beast men as for the guards. Although the guards really have never come out here looking for any of them, because honestly, they don't do enough to. They're not like striking back at the guards or anything. They're more out here because otherwise, if they go to town, they'll be found and killed. But the guards aren't like actively hunting them right now or anything.
You will once we've done our training montage.
Yeah. So she introduces you to Sigrid, who is well, you can see her picture there. She's got some leather armor and sword at her sheath at her side. And she's got kind of a commanding presence, and she's sizes you guys up, and Hilda tells her about how you fought with the guards and killed half a score of them. She might be exaggerating a little there, but you guys can introduce yourselves or feel free to interject. I don't just want to tell you they keep talking at you.
I introduced myself.
As do I. And say,
yes, you're renowned. A renowned thief of the town.
Renowned?
Yeah.
Renowned.
I'm very well renowned.
Exactly as foretold.
What was that?
I said exactly as foretold.
Oh, okay.
One thing that you notice in their actual camp is that the vegetation here seems normal. It's not a very large area, but right around where their camp is, it's just clearly it's normal. It's not the weird, twisted, warpy trees and blighted land and all that.
You said we were 20 minutes outside of town?
It was probably a little over a mile. You guys probably crossed it in 30, 40 minutes.
Is it just their camp, or is it this area?
It's a little wider than where they've got like their tents and stuff, but it is a fairly small area. Yeah.
I'm kind of keeping an eye out for like any druid stones or anything that I think could be keeping the corruption at bay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have you make a perception roll. There is kind of in the center of their camp what's clearly an ancient stone, not very large, kind of like it really only comes up to about knee height, but you see carvings in it, and Trent, at least, given his religious background, would recognize it as the goddess Rhea. Probably pronouncing that wrong, but she's like kind of the goddess of nature, I think, and fertility and stuff. Clearly something about that being here is, protecting the land, or that'd be your best guess, because it's like dead center. It's not a huge area, but it and when they see you noticing that, yeah, they say the beastmen and such, which are all over the forest, tend to avoid this area. They still get occasionally some in here, and that's why they have all the traps and stuff, but it is a lot less dangerous than anywhere else out here. And you count probably just under 24 people out in this camp. None of them look particularly well trained or anything, but like I said, they all seem to have a little steel in their backbone. They're all armed. They have various, either no armor or like leather armor. None of them are like, equipped like you guys are.
Right.
And Sigrid's wondering if you guys can help each other somehow.
Sounds like a great idea.
Maybe this stone would repel those gross guys, the guard.
No, I would not want to try and do anything with the stone, because if you recall, we were at a corrupted place, and I thought we dug up one of the stones, and then that made the corruption go away. I would assume that if we tried to like dislodge the stone, it very well could make the blessing go away. So I would not want to mess with the stone, but
you don't think it's like an aura situation?
I think it is, but I think that you break the aura if you try and dig it up.
It's a big enough stone. You would need like a wagon or something to haul around it. For what that's worth. It's not. You wouldn't turn it into a necklace or anything. Maybe awkwardly in a wheelbarrow.
A wheelbarrow necklace? All right.
Wheelbarrow neck. You tie the wheelbarrow around your neck, and then.
I'd at this point, I'd basically ask them to, I don't know, share their story. I mean, is it mostly just some of us?
Yeah, she'll tell. I can't talk. She'll tell her story, which kind of matches Hilda's. Her husband had been taken. They still don't even really know why people are being taken, other than they're just never seen again when they are. It's been a lot more frequent lately. Her husband was taken almost a year ago. She got mad, killed a guard over it, and had to be on the run since. Everyone's got similar stories. Either they had loved ones taken, or they mouthed off to the guards and got beat down and were worried they'd be on a list. Everyone here has had some sort of run-in, like with the guards, or a family member has. Like that is the common unifying thing between them.
I don't like these fucking guards.
Yeah, they haven't said anything about the way the guards look.
I might ask, do you know what's up with their faces? They're disfigured.
You can tell she doesn't know what you're talking about. She asked you, like, what are you talking about?
Did the farmer that, or who was she? Miller daughter, whatever. Yeah, helped us out. Did she get a look at him as she was coming to talk to us?
No, those were all down by the dock, and she was up by you guys.
All right. Yeah, I'll let her know. They looked horribly disfigured. I mean, I guess that's why they keep their helmets on all the time.
Says Sigmar protect us, and says she wouldn't be surprised if what's her name? Oh, shoot, the Wittgenstein lady. Dang it, I gotta find her name now. Lady Margaret. She wouldn't be surprised if she's doing some foul sorcery on them or something. They have seen her use magic.
All right.
One of them swears they saw one of their, loved ones who had been carried off months ago, trailing behind Lady Margaret once when she visited town as like a shambling corpse, but it was like at a distance.
That's not good.
But like they haven't really. She killed a guard a while ago. She never like stopped to look and pull their helmet off or anything. They don't really do. It's not like they're doing guerrilla strikes at the guards or anything. Mostly they're in survival mode, so they haven't really had the opportunity to see any of that. Or maybe it's recent for that matter. They tell you things all really started going bad a couple years ago when the big storms came.
Storm, yeah.
Probably they noticed, Trent's a priest of Sigmar, and they mention, they don't laugh like I just did, but the old priest who had the priest you were expecting to find at the Sigmar temple had died about 6 months ago, and it was like the strangest damn thing. Like the pointy like vein type thing on top of the Sigmar tower during a storm actually blew off and impaled him in the street and killed him.
That doesn't sound natural.
Yeah, that's what everyone else thought. So
I kind of look at Trent and I'm like, I'm unfamiliar with Sigmar's retaliation, but would he do that if the priest was dirty, or is that something someone else would do just to kill the priest?
Could have been either.
Sigmar tends to prefer purifying fire.
Ah, okay.
Or at least the cult of Sigmar tends to prefer purifying fire. I forgot Eric had the lightsaber. I mean, not really a lightsaber, but cool. I should just make it a lightsaber. That'd be more fun. You could even make the boom, boom, sound effects.
Nice. All right.
What are you telling them about your intentions or plans? Like,
we'd like to get our boat back for sure.
We basically came here to investigate potential warpstone infection by, I guess, the Church of Sigmar ostensibly sent us here, or said, "Yeah, I agree. Go search out that thing that you were searching for anyway." Is that basically what we got from the church?
Basically.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I'd follow through with that because I don't feel like that's a big secret or anything. Church of Sigmar was interested in some stuff we found and told us to come investigate.
If you guys want to, if you guys are actually going to attack the castle, they would be willing to help if you scout it out ahead of time and kind of lead the charge.
If we scouted, are they not familiar with this area enough to help us out in that regard?
So they can help to an extent. They can lead you near it.
Okay.
She also knows of a cave beneath it, but she's pretty sure it leads into the castle, but none of them has ever dared go into it because they hear like unnerving gibbering sounds. It really just no one's been able to summon up the courage to go in there. Something awful's in that cave. But she does believe it leads to the castle and would come up inside the castle, based on some no one who's here anymore, but some people they had talked to once who had fled the castle. Some former employees, servants, I guess would be the better word.
I don't know. What's the right term there?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Servants, employees.
Yeah. Slaves, perhaps.
Slaves, yeah.
Maybe it was a guy named Klug. I don't know. Certainly,
Probably.
though, like part of the reason they need you. She's not going to commit to anything unless you scout the place out, make a plan, convince her that they're not throwing their lives away.
I'd be up for that, but then I'm not the scoutiest of scout types.
And she's just not. She's not going to believe like a plan you make without you at least doing a little reconnaissance.
Sure.
Well, we'll go in the front door with arrows, and you just yeah. So they're willing to work with you. They need some sort of
assurances that we won't leave them high and dry.
Do they know how many guards there are, roughly?
Yeah, they have a guess, and I will add that up real quick.
400.
Yeah, somewhere between 40 and 50 is their guess. So you probably saw a little under half today.
Okay.
And -6 or however many you just killed. 7? I don't remember. It's on the
I
map.
believe it was 7.
All right.
Granted, that's a ballpark.
So we need to roughly what we need to do is maybe scout out this cave and just see. I mean, if there's something down there that's going to kill us, do we think that wiping it out is going to alert them we're coming?
If you're asking her noise-wise, like the entrance to the cave is far enough away from the castle that likely not an issue.
Okay.
If you mean something else, she can't answer for that.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know if you guys mentioned the name Kratz.
Yeah.
She's happy that asshole's dead. She knows they know the names of a lot of the guards, but there's like a couple sergeants, there's a lieutenant, and then there's the captain.
And Kratz was what? The captain or a?
Kratz was one of the sergeants.
Okay.
So there's a couple people up the chain from him. That's a lot of people, though. Like a front-on assault, you would expect to probably die. Particularly if you're coming in from outside the walls, because that's just a lot of crossbows aiming down at you with no real way to get in.
We just need to get another boat, fill it with explosives, and wait for them to impound it with 20 guys.
These outlaws, I'm just going to call them that, although I don't really think it's the right name. They do have bows and arrows. None of them, I mean, none of them are exceptionally skilled. They're, they can hunt a deer or something with them, right? Not like Tilly over there, or probably even Bernard. What's your skill, Bernard?
50.
Yeah, they're not up to that par. So if it's just a full on, they're shooting arrows up at people on the walls, and those guys are shooting crossbows back, that they're going to lose that fight, especially given cover and everything. But they do have range weapons. They're not useless.
Well, I guess we either have to do scouting of the castle or we have to go check out the cave. One of the two. I don't know which one we think is better.
I probably need to do both of them. I'd like to know ways in and out of the castle. Is it just? I suppose they have you said they had a boat dock below, and then just that weird shelf to the next part of the castle. You described it as
so the main way. So not counting the cave, the main way to get to the castle would be the way you guys went the first time, when you kind of walked along the coast, and then you kind of ended up going uphill, so that now you were pretty well above river level when you got to that first bit of the castle where you got turned away. Like at that point, you were like high above river level. Then had you actually gone into the castle, you could tell from the outside there's a long bridge over kind of it goes over the river, but basically over space, essentially, that connects to the second part of the castle, which is kind of on its own little island's not the right word, but its own little, I don't know, what do you call the big jutting
it's
up?
an outcropping,
I guess. To climb that, like on that side though, that would be some pretty difficult climbing. You could, like, those of you good at climbing could probably do it. Those of you bad at climbing or in heavy armor are probably not going to be able to climb like the fairly sheer cliff that the second part of the castle is on. I don't know if you can still see that image, but it looked like a scary climb. Maybe I'll find it again.
Yeah, what do you guys want to do first? The cave?
That looks like a rough climb, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that's only about 30 times higher than the mast on that ship.
There's an awful lot of bats out there.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to look creepy.
Yeah. She recommends you don't go anywhere till morning.
But we have reservations for dinner.
I mean,
I don't think we're going back into town. At least I'm not. You can if you want.
She figures with what it sounds like you guys did, there's probably going to be probably a heavy mounted force coming out.
We can just wait
back to the town to look for you guys.
Pick off guards. They seem to go to town, right? Even though they're weird, scary monsters.
You have seen them come to town. I
want to have more wounds before I go out somewhere.
Well, she's recommending you stay here the night anyway, because it's going to be dark soon, and you don't want to be out in the forest at dark.
But Jude was going to have his servants prepare a whole huge ass meal for us. We didn't even show up.
Well, in your defense, you told him you might not.
He was there. He saw what went down.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys staying here for the night? You going somewhere else?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
you can.
I think it's got to be here.
Anyone who doesn't have hasn't had a heal check yet, should probably get one, and then you can do your resting to recover wounds as well, which I believe is under you. Whatever Griff just did. Utility, rest and recover.
Does everyone need heal checks, or did anyone?
I would love a heal check.
Glad I could tell from all that.
I think everyone needs one.
No, I'm good. I didn't take any damage.
Everyone but Dirk.
Did Griff already try to heal himself, though?
I have not. I did that once and I almost died.
Yeah.
Off to a good start.
whatever. I don't gain any back.
Oh, I'm assuming Bill and Ted are here with you, and Renee.
Okay.
They wouldn't have stayed in town by themselves.
We would
6
ask
for Tilly.
We would ask that these guys
Thanks.
keep them in the camp. You know, make sure these guys don't.
Yeah, they find some jobs for them to do.
Okay.
There's no freeloading or anything, but
I will spend a reroll for Griff.
damn, Eric, the 296 is
5. I know. And lastly,
I liked it better when Griff was going to miss an
Nard.
eyeball.
There's time for that.
I'll spend a reroll for that one. Not any better. Okay.
It is bad luck tonight.
If I oppose him and roll negative enough, does that mean he succeeds?
No. But if you didn't do your rest and recover, do that, because you'll be resting overnight and get something back for that probably.
Oh, come on.
Brent got a good night's sleep. Sigmar is with him. All right. So, yeah, make sure you actually apply it because it doesn't do it automatically.
Yep.
Morning comes. Sigrid will, and a couple of her guys, she'll take 2 people with her, will take you to the cave entrance. They will not go in with you.
Do we want to send in tough people or sneaky people?
Probably start with sneaky people.
All right, that's not me.
So we don't have to engage if it seems like it's crazy. So I will, I will do my best to do a thing.
You're okay. Probably a map. Seems like a thing I could have. There's walls. This can be. You guys might need to bring the light.
Light isn't stealthy.
Not usually, yeah.
I give you my lantern
Yeah, I asked to borrow.
and my axe.
Is a lantern.
Atlanta. Why did Dave just get distracting on him?
We're gonna be attacked.
I don't know. Is the leader of the camp cute? Maybe I'm distracted that way.
Maybe. I've put a torch on Bernard just so everyone can see, and now I'm going to change the map.
Wait, am I there? Is everybody there?
No, I haven't changed the map yet, but I'm getting it set up. Let's see here. The correct map. She leads you to kind of a cave entrance concealed by bushes. It is unlikely just walking by you would ever have seen this. And the entrance to the cave is damp. It's dark. It's sloping downward. And she's not going in with you.
Okay. Are we sending everybody, or is this just a sneaky scout mission?
I mean, I'm fine with just starting it off and seeing what I can see in a sneaky scout mission. And then if it gets too hairy, I run back and get the rest of you guys. But yeah, I'm fine with just going in there alone for starts.
Yeah.
Or anyone who wants to sneak with me.
Give me a stealth roll that's not urban.
Oh.
Oh, really? Hold on. I may have that. Rule stealth? I can rule stealth.
Are you going in?
Am I the only other sneaky person in that regard? and give it a try. Where'd it
How
go?
sneaky are you? You're less sneaky than Dirk.
I'm
I got a 42.
sneaky.
He's a 48.
I have a 42.
And he's not in armor. But yeah, go ahead if you want to go in with him.
Well, I got a -10 from this month-old crit I took. So
Sure, let's go, Dave.
Everybody's going in.
Wait,
I don't even see a crit on you.
-20?
What crit do you have, Dave? I don't even see a crit on you.
I've got I got an effect. Where did it go?
Yeah, it's probably from your armor.
I got a -10 from movement. Anything that deals with movement, quote unquote. It's a crit I took weeks ago. You're right. I don't see it on me, but it came up.
Well, weird.
Here, that rolled the wrong skill, by the way. For some reason, my
I think your crit miraculously healed.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a -10 modifier and I can't remove it. I don't know why.
Okay.
Oh, that's armor penalty.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's armor. You're in heavy armor.
Okay. This was my actual target then. So pretty bad.
Okay. Well, you guys are. I mean, it's not the loudest in the world at a -1, but it's not the best stealth ever. Who's all going? Tilly's going too.
Sure, why not?
All right, give me a stealth roll, Tilly.
Okay.
She's the stealthiest of you all.
I don't doubt it.
You guys are just maybe 30 feet in, and you hear from somewhere deep ahead of you like a grunting, bellowing sound, and then a moment later, like a high-pitched squeaking noise. But, I mean,
Are these like recognizable animals, or is this something else?
No, it definitely sounds weird. It's a little unnerving, but not in the sense that, oh my God, I'm going to make you roll, otherwise you can't go in. It puts you on edge. How far are you guys going in?
I'm following
before
Bernard.
the rest of the party comes, I guess. Are you going in and coming back out to report, or are they supposed to follow you at some sort of distance?
Yeah, no, I think we would go back out to report. Maybe if we don't come back for like 15 minutes, they could come in.
All right, so you're heading like 15 minutes in roughly, or until you see something?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys are kind of making your way through a winding, I guess, kind of a maze of tunnels. It's not a real complex maze, but you're occasionally seeing branches that come back on themselves or just dead end, but none of them go real far. So it's pretty easy to kind of make sure you're still going the right direction, or forward, I should say. And it's pretty easy to figure out your way back out. It's just, it's not a single path, I guess I'll say. Actually, you've got navigation. Everybody's got navigation. Who's got the best navigation? Probably Dave.
Is that a
navigation?
skill?
Did you say navigation?
Dave, give me a navigation at plus. Give me a navigation, and then the other two of you give me navigation as well. And if you succeed, I will add a success level to Dave's roll.
Or any kind of bonus there?
So Dirk will give you a bonus. Dave, you had the highest score, so I'm having you do the roll.
Okay. Well, just straight up roll then?
Yep. Good enough. Basically, it was. There are some twists and turns and some branches and rejoins, but you're confident you could make your way back. Maybe not super quickly. You might occasionally take the wrong thing, but from everything you've seen, like it all keeps kind of going in the same general direction. Had you blown your navigation roll, then maybe I would have had you kind of end up turned around in there. But
is that roughly toward the castle?
You think so? Yeah. So you've been going about 10 minutes when 3 of you give me perception rolls.
Oh, God. Did I get it?
I don't know. Find out. I need to go private on my rolls.
Everybody noticed but me.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody but you. So Tilly and Dirk, as you're making your way forward, I guess maybe, Bernard's peering off down a side passage at the time. I'm assuming you all brought light. Would that be accurate?
At least I
Yeah.
Sure.
You all got a lantern or a torch or something?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So everybody's holding one. Just
Right. We're all holding a torch.
Excellent. You see, I'm just gonna pull this token here for you to look at it. Hover. Oh, here, I'll pull it out. I'll pull it out of the thing just so everyone can see what it looks like when you hover over the picture. What you see is a weird, long worm-like neck poking around the corner of the tunnel up ahead and looking at you. The face is vaguely humanoid, but all malformed and weird teeth and shit. It's almost up near the ceiling too. So either it's very tall peeking around the corner, or it's stuck to the ceiling, or God knows. You've never really seen anything like this. It's pretty terrifying to look at. Why don't you, those of you who see it, give me a cool test.
I am so not cool.
A cool
I must be
man.
cool.
Tilly, you probably stumble backwards and let out a little bit of a gasp. Dirk rolled a 99, which that'd be a crit fail, even though it's by less of a failure margin. I don't know, Dirk, you probably drop your torch or something as you reflexively grab. I don't know. Come up with something thematically cool that you do. Both of you are quite shocked to see this and not loving it. That said, you are not in a situation where you must flee. It is not actually giving you the fear effect. It's just obviously creepy as fuck to see that, and you are, whatever that thing is, definitely not. You would not be in the mood of, I want to talk to it. Not at all. That is some weird corrupted mutant something horrifying ahead of you there. Bernard didn't see it at all though. So what do you want to do?
I want to shoot in the face.
What?
All right, you will need to pull your crossbow out and ready it this turn. Okay. Given your failed cool test, essentially, I was mostly doing it to see, can you act immediately? Basically, your turn's going to be getting it ready just because you were in the middle of being shocked too. So you're getting your crossbow out, probably with shaking arms, pulling it up to aim. Dirk, what are you doing?
I am getting my my hand crossbow out. I'm probably not going to fire because it's short range, but I'm getting it out and ready to fire in case something comes on us.
And Dave, give me a perception check at +20.
Barely.
Good enough. So you didn't see what they had seen, but you see their startled reactions, and as you kind of turn to see what they're looking at, you don't get quite a good a view as they did, but you do see the weird, worm-like shape pull back around the corner again, and you hear a scuttling noise. I mean, you all hear the scuttling noise as it sounds like it's rapidly retreating down the tunnel ahead.
Okay.
So at that point, yeah, you have your weapons out till you finally got your crossbow up and ready to shoot. But at this point, the target's not there anymore.
What was that?
I don't know, but it freaked the shit out of me. I tell Dave.
Ahead in the direction that thing was, although at some distance now, you're hearing those weird guttural hoots and squeaking noises.
Does it sound like it's coming from more than one source?
I saw one thing. I cannot describe it other than it was weird. I don't know if it's more than one or if it's just one and it's like throwing its voice. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Bernard, if it's more than one, it's only like 2 or 3. Like,
Yeah.
you think one is reasonable, but it could be more. It's definitely not like a dozen or anything.
All right.
Are you continuing on, or are you going back for your party? Because this is probably the first interesting thing that's happened. You're maybe 10 minutes into the cave.
I think we could head back, I guess. Yeah. Find everybody, tell them we saw something that, I don't know, you describe it. I didn't see it. So we head back, Derek.
Okay. Everybody give me a perception check.
Us three or everybody?
Yeah, everyone.
Sorry,
everyone
I'm sorry. The 3 of you in there. The 3 of you in there.
I like to roll exactly my number.
I am like on edge, so I am really paying attention right now.
So, Dirk, you're probably constantly looking behind you as you are leaving, and you do see, like, at the edge of your torchlight, lantern light, whatever it is, you see movement along the ceiling of the cavern. It's probably the same sort of thing. There's like you almost see like a green, like weird carapace on this long body. You're pretty sure you see the long neck again, but it's shadowing. It's moving quickly.
I whisper, I think it's following us. I think it's on the ceiling. To the other 2. I whisper, I don't like it.
Can I kill it yet, Derek?
I don't like it the most.
You didn't see it. You turn and look for what Dirk saw, and you don't see anything back there. Dirk, and you only saw it briefly while it was moving. Like
I'm telling you guys, it was fucking back there. Let's fucking go.
You think this thing's trailing you, but you think it's trying to stay back out of the light.
Let's fine. If it stays back, just let it stay back there.
I mean, it's not really staying back. It's just staying back far enough that it's not in the light, I think.
Yeah, it's probably like maybe like 20 yards. 10 yards.
All right.
It depends, because, as you're kind of going through winding tunnels, obviously there's going to be shadows from outcroppings, and obviously you're not going to have full 60 feet of vision at any given point. Whatever. Dirk, you're definitely keeping a watch behind you, and you are occasionally catching glimpses of movement, but it's never really revealing itself fully. Eventually, you guys make it back to the daylight of the entrance of the cave.
All right. Does this thing that was following us seem to come close to the cave entrance, or is it pretty much stay well back?
You don't see it from here, no.
Okay. All right, we describe everything we've seen so far to the rest of them, and it doesn't look like apparently we saw something, but it doesn't look like it didn't look like this place was guarded or anything, right? There's no guard stations, there's no...
You certainly didn't see any castle guards.
Yeah.
We went 15 minutes. Would 15 minutes... About how far away from the castle are we right now? Half hour?
That's a little tough to answer because of terrain, but I mean, you're within you're less than a mile away. You're probably half a mile.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it and it did continue to travel in a castle-y direction.
Yeah. You figure you probably covered like half the distance to the castle in that direction. before you turn back.
Well, this looks like it's the way in. I mean, how far do we want to go in and verify that, and then come back and say, and then create a plan?
I think we need to make sure that we take care of anything that's going to drop on us from the ceiling first before we feel confident in any before I would feel confident in any kind of plan.
So I think we should head back in and look for this thing then.
Yeah, I definitely. It is too much of a wild card for me to be confident in any kind of plan until we deal with it. This thing fucking freaked me out, man.
Put your torches on bright mode and let's go.
Bright mode. All right.
All right, I'm good for that. Let's head back in.
Well, I'll hold a torch so one of you archer types can be ready with your archery type stuff.
Sweet.
Why don't you guys give me a marching order right here? It's probably wide enough. Okay, as someone keeps moving, it keeps putting distracting on people. I gotta figure out what's going on. Oh, I think I have rotting flesh on Andrew.
What?
I've got rotting flesh.
Oh, yeah, it does seem to be tied to me.
Fix it. I was trying to give him the downside to the guard being near him, and it was... Instead, I gave him the rotting flesh effect of the guard.
I'll be right back.
Wow. Wow.
So Bernard's way in front and everyone else is behind?
I'll be at the back end. I'll be at the back end. I am going to yeah, I'm gonna. I've got a light source. I'm at the back end. I'm watching our back, just intently.
Okay. I've now actually given you a light source and Griff too. I've taken away Tilly's. All right. Well, you guys start working your way through the cavern again. You're occasionally hearing that weird hooting and chittering sound, but you don't get a glimpse of whatever it was. And finally, you've been walking maybe 20, 30 minutes. You've probably been going fairly slow just because you're on guard and it's a cave. You need light. You gotta watch your step. Eventually, you get up to a point where off to the right. I'm gonna move you guys up. Try to move you up. Off to the right, the cave's giving off a glow.
Like what kind of glow? Torchlight?
Through the wall.
Radioactive glow?
Hard to be sure from this distance, but you definitely see like a blue glow of light in that direction. Oops, I was muted. Hard to tell this difference, but you see a blue glow of light in that direction, kind of reflecting off walls and corridor coming that way.
Blue, so not completely natural.
Right, correct. Not like torchlight, right?
Okay.
If that's what you're asking. Also, here at this kind of like junction, you see a human skeleton that looks, I mean, not like ancient or anything. Certainly, there's no flesh on the bones anymore. A lot of the bones have been like snapped. Looks like maybe like the marrow's been sucked out.
Okay.
And you're hearing a lot of unsettling noises coming from the east. It's like squeaks and twitters, and just combined with seeing the skeleton there, it's got you on edge.
Let's say we go west.
Sure. You can start moving, actually. Control yourself. Oh, did you just disappear? Oh, no, I was... Off to your left, you actually can see just a little bit of reflected blue glowing light coming that way, too.
I'll head down and take a look. Yeah.
And to the east, you think maybe you hear the sound of running water.
All right. There's more blue cavern up that way. So we'll head this way. I want to stay out of the blue for as long as possible.
Sure, Dave, stop right there.
Okay.
Give me a perception test.
No, I don't see shit. That's why I'm in front.
You are walking. You're in the lead when suddenly, like this thin saw-like whip almost comes out of the wall, both walls. Both of them striking at you. They're like long. They're like 5 yards long. And
that's why Dave was kneeling and rolling, right?
Yeah, penitent man. He'll pass.
He does it down every hallway we go through, and it's finally paid off.
As a master thief.
Penitent man.
Okay, put surprise on you. Is that it? Yeah. Well. I don't know, man. You just got lucky as these things, you weren't ready for them at all. But as these things whip out at you, you just kind of reflexively jerk around, and one goes like whizzing past your head as you twist, and the other one, you probably got a shield out, right? Shield and a
no, I don't have
torch.
A shield.
Oh well,
yeah.
It was for flavor. You were missed, but
Did it slap the torch out of my hand? My lantern?
No, they just missed you. I don't know. It's like slashes across your armor, but your armor soaks the hit. It was so quick you can't. You're not even sure what it was, but you see these like long serrated tendril type things, fairly thin though, like pull right back into both the walls. It was like something like whipped out at you from the wall and then went back in, and you're.
Was this? Was it look? Did it look like something that was alive, or does it just look like a whip?
It looked like something living rather than like a trap.
Okay.
It would be like right there and right there. They were very long, but they were probably the width of like 2 fingers maybe. But like they almost look like saw blades. Sorry. Like a handsaw, like the teeth on it, like the serrated, like that is what you saw as it was whipping out at you.
Okay. Then I will. I'll make sure to walk with my sword drawn in front of me, just in case any more things whip out of the walls at me, and try to take a closer look at where those came out of the wall.
Sure. Are you pressing on, or
do I see anything at the location where they came out of the wall?
Yeah, give me another perception roll. I mean, are you staying there and looking?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have my sword up just in case anything comes whipping toward me, at least.
So you stop and take a look, and as you're kind of studying the wall, you can see just tiny little like a tiny little fissure in the wall. And as you're looking at it, you actually see one of those like tentacle type things lash out again, and now as you're looking, it almost looks like a weirdly serrated worm, like lunging and then retracting. That said, I'm going to take surprise off you, but you are being attacked again. To just put these on. Ignore, the fact that you don't know what it is. Doesn't really matter. I will give you. Do you not have your weapon actually in your hand?
Yes, I do. I'm sorry. I probably still have my bow.
Well, you can make a roll to defend if you want.
Okay. To defend. Let's see, that would be this guy. Wow, that was bad.
Yeah, it was. In the good news is, like, this thing does hit you, but your armor, despite it being all, those serrated, weird, wormy tail tendril thing, like, your armor does a pretty good job standing up to it. It was doing 4 damage. You soaked it, so you take 1 just because that's the minimum you can take. But this thing lashes out. It draws a little bit of blood from you, where it, actually manages to contact skin or get through, however that works exactly. And but overall, you're not like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. That said, the other one also attacks you. I'm giving this one a flank bonus now, given that you were defending them. You can try to defend this one too.
All right.
So this one, as it's coming in, you turn and you slash at it. And honestly, I think these things have like 2 wounds or something. I'm gonna call that good enough. This one, as it's like coming out of the wall, you actually turn and you just like cleave it in half, and you see like a little bit of it retract back in the wall, but you got most of it, and it's kind of like flopping around in death throes on the ground. Whatever this thing is, you don't know. It's some sort of weird worm creature, and again, like the width of 2 fingers, but very, very long.
Does this look like something we can avoid, or is it something that we have to destroy?
Well, for sure, it attacked you twice when you stood there. I don't know. They have a long reach, but you think you probably just killed one of them, or at least if it's part of some other creature, you chopped off that arm of it, right?
I'll dig my sword into that other fissure.
I will give everyone else an opportunity to do something if they want. That said, this thing is so tiny, like a crossbow would not be appropriate here.
Oh, come on. Give me a chance.
Okay, I'll give you a chance. 10%.
10%?
Dude, it was the width of 2 fingers and it whips out of a wall briefly. Like,
Let me
what do
use
you
my
really
skill.
think your odds are of shooting this thing with a crossbow?
Well, I won't even bother.
You said you wanted a chance. I was giving you a chance.
Give me
this thing is not in the
challenge,
wall
CR.
for about half a second of every round.
He did give you a CR. 10.
Yeah, 10%.
He said 10. Okay. All right. No, I'm not going to do it.
All right. A blunderbuss, I'd give you better odds. Shoot at that section of wall.
And notify everybody that we're down here?
Having not heard anyone else speak up, I'm going to assume, Dave, you're going again. You said you were just going to kind of dig into the wall there with your sword?
Yeah, I was going to see if I could, hit it.
I'm still at the back watching.
Yeah.
So I'm not moving up and doing anything.
Sure, Dave, give me a I don't know, attack. You just target the thing and attack.
Target it? Oh, there it is.
Sorry, other one. Well, it doesn't matter.
All right.
You killed one of them. Just change which one in my head you killed. Yeah, you go digging around right where you'd seen it retract into the wall. It kind of tries shooting out at you again, and you cut the thing apart. And that's it, really. After a moment, nothing else is coming out of the wall at you. You see these weird little, like, thin worm bodies down there that aren't moving anymore. Never seen anything like this in your life, but there it is. Very dead. Adam, now you can shoot it. It's not moving. It's on the ground.
What's my chance?
Got it.
I don't know. Normal plus point blank, and it gets no dodge.
Because it's dead.
Or if you want to put your crossbow right against it, then you just hit. Because it's dead. Anyway, that was it. You guys haven't seen that. It was not much of a fight, but certainly if you were unarmored and unaware, it could do some damage.
Does the crevice it's in, is this could we recognize this feature again and maybe stay out of its way?
I would allow you to recognize it again. It would be hard to spot, but
okay.
Yeah, you'd have a chance.
All right. Then I think we should move on. Which way is the water sound?
Straight north of you. And what you see there is a little underground stream flowing.
Yeah. I keep going. Are these actual footprints here? Or is that just...
Yeah.
Map?
There are.
Okay.
There
what
are
do they
tracks
look like?
on the ground. I don't know. Do you have tracking?
I do have tracking.
Holy shit. I didn't think you did. I thought I was only
I'm
on...
a scout. My class is scout. I have track. There you go.
That's a pretty good roll. It looks like giant rats with that roll.
Awesome. I let everybody know we might be coming up on some giant rats.
And given those tracks, that recontextualizes some of the squeaking you heard back when you were at where that skeleton was.
Okay.
In fact...
Am I still hearing the squeaky squeaks?
That's what I'm going to find out. Oh, yeah. Every single one of you except Trent hears the squeaky squeaks, but Dave, you heard it by 6. You hear not only squeaky squeaks coming from kind of back where you've just been attacked and off to the right. You hear some slightly different squeaky squeaks from up ahead.
Oh.
Although those are harder to identify what that might be.
Do they sound like they're getting louder or coming toward us kind of squeaks, or just...
Nope, not at all.
Okay. I'll keep going then.
Okay. There's a bit of a bigger cavern here, off to your left, and you hear the flutter of... Well, first you see kind of glowing eyes up near the cavern roof, like red eyes standing out in the dark, or maybe catching your torchlight. And then gliding down, you see just some giant bats with wingspans, probably like 12 feet. Quite large. If you stay back in this tunnel, they actually might not be able to quite get to you. But those things look weirdly, like as you see them swooping, they look weirdly aggressive. Like you would expect a bat would just be like, yeah, whatever, person. Granted, you've never seen one this size, but these things look menacing, probably corrupted. You know, given what you know about Warpstone and such, potentially in the area.
All right.
In fact, now that you're thinking about the giant rat footprints you saw, you know, they're probably as well tainted by the warp. Not that you've seen them yet. So they're not. So I say they're swooping down. You see them kind of moving around in there real quickly, agitated. Given that you guys aren't actually in the cavern, they're not coming straight at you or anything. They're actually a little too big to do that.
I'm sure we've had this conversation before with Trent. How does he or the church even feel about things that have been corrupted? Do they need to be...
Wait,
taken
Kill.
care of.
What are you? What? Why?
Yeah.
What church do you think likes corruption? Where are you going with this?
I mean, is it our duty to kill everything we find that's corrupted, or
do you want it corrupting you?
No.
Then kill it. I don't know what.
Wouldn't the best way not to be corrupted to just stay away from it?
That may work too if you think you can stay away from it, but I don't know what you're looking for. Are you looking for absolution before you do something? Are you looking? Corruption bad. I don't know what more you want from that. That is the extent of religious teaching. Corruption bad.
I think what he's looking for is how much are you okay with just leaving it, or do you, as a avatar,
what are we even here for? No, back up. What are we even here for right now?
I guess we find the warp stone.
Which is what? A giant ass source of corruption.
Does that mean we got to kill everything that's corrupted?
Or we take out the warp stone and see if that fixes the problem.
Overall world view at this point. That's what I'm asking for. I don't have the entire backstory of the planet at this point. So, yeah. Thanks, Derek. So, okay. I mean, if the I guess we bust in and try to kill all the bats and then backtrack and kill all the rats?
Or just we go and try and take out the source of the corruption and be done with it.
All right, that's kind of what I wanted.
So off to your right, you do see a spiral stairway heading upwards.
A spiral staircase. All right, and it doesn't look like the bats or the rats are coming in this way. At least, do I find any tracks there over here?
Again, you have not seen any rats, just tracks. But yeah, no, you don't. You're not sure the bats could fit over here.
Okay. Well then, I'll head over to the spiral staircase.
Or at least not flying. Maybe bats can hop. I don't even know. What do bats do on the ground?
I don't know.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Nobody knows bats. Okay, I'll come over here and see what I see.
Sure. You see a spiral staircase going up beyond the range of your torchlight. Would you like?
Where do these go? They go up.
Up.
They go
up
up.
Indeed, not down.
All right. I guess we're gonna. I'll start heading up. I'll make sure everybody's coming this way at least, and start heading up.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are all heading up the spiral stairway. You are. It's quite a climb. I mean, if this were a building, it would be like 20 stories. You're climbing. I don't know. I might be estimating wrong. It's about 200 feet. It's a lot. And finally, it just comes in like it ends in a square, featureless room that's like 2 yards square. It's like you're all kind of crammed together in there if you get up there.
Okay.
You're not even going to call for perception checks. You guys look around for secret doors and indeed do see a finely crafted trapdoor in the ceiling.
In the ceiling?
Yeah.
Do we think we know how to open it?
You're guessing you push upwards, but you won't know for sure until you try.
So if we're going to do that, we should make sure we turn off our lights before we do it.
We're ready to attack anything that might be attacking us.
Sorry, what's that?
And be ready to attack. I mean, we could be coming up between somebody's legs.
If Trent signs off on it.
Yeah, I think he's good. Let's. Does somebody want to hold my light? I'll push the door up.
Yeah, I would take it.
Okay. All right, Derek. Do I need any kind of roll, or is this an easy?
No,
lift?
I got to figure out where exactly you're coming up.
Oh.
I think I know, but.
If this is, I turn and look at everybody. If this is the castle, do we want to go in and try to penetrate it now, or do we want to go back and try to make a plan?
I think we should come back when we've got a couple dozen people to come with us.
Okay, I'll hopefully open it up just enough to take a look around and make sure it could potentially be the castle on the inside.
You open it up and you see what looks to be the ruins of a building. You actually see, not here. You see daylight, coming, streaking through. There's some holes in the roof. There's some holes in the walls. You can see kind of a courtyard out in front of you. It's hard to make out much more from here. There is a decent chance you are inside the castle. Based on probably what you can see are some, like, across the courtyard, you can see some walls, like castle walls.
Okay. Did the castle look decrepit from the outside when we were initially coming up to it?
I mean, it didn't look great, but it didn't look like if you punched a wall, it would cave in or anything. Granted that, you were looking at the stone walls on the outside. This is like a wooden building you're in. Or probably a mixture of, stone and wood, but for sure the roof is wood, and that's looking pretty decrepit.
Do we want to try to...
I'm assuming right now you just lifted it enough that you've got, like, your head peeking out and you're looking around.
Yeah. Is this something I have to hold open? I would love to send someone out who's sneaky, maybe like Dirk. You said it.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
It's a broken down building or something.
All right.
Is that how you described it?
Give me a rural stealth roll. Or sorry, an urban stealth roll.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
No.
Keeping that roll?
I'm gonna re-roll.
Don't get worse.
He gets to reverse the roll if it helps, which...
Yeah.
It didn't in this case, but...
Can he reverse the roll and then use a fortune point to drop it by 1, like +1 SL?
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works. I need to turn on light for this.
No, it reverses the roll if it's better. So you all like reversing the roll. If it doesn't help, it's not gonna help by doing the SL thing.
Well, you rolled a 76 versus a 58, but that could be a 67.
I think that is what it did.
And then if it is a 67, you could increase it by 1 SL.
All right, well, most of you are about to see nothing. Dirk, hopefully you can see. Turn off the stupid snapping. There we go.
Jesus, this map is big.
Yeah, Dirk, something you notice as you're coming up, you're starting to creep the door open. You actually see a couple of what looks very, beggars essentially from town, curled up in here, sleeping near you. One's like turned away from you, huddled on the ground, just muttering to himself, and he's got like a bottle of something, you can't see what, clutched in his hands. But you there's people like right here, but with your stealth roll, they have not noticed you. Granted, these do not look like guards. They don't look armed, but I mean, certainly they could make noise.
Yeah, I
Back here. I will put them on the map.
I go back, I tell them what I see.
Probably briefly as you came up, because they weren't like right by the trapdoor, but they were in this building. You could see, you could be sure you were definitely in here. I'm actually going to pull you out a little bit just so you get a better view, because that's probably what you could have gotten a decent view of by poking your head around. You are definitely inside those castle walls. You can see the sky
but in
above.
A courtyard.
In a courtyard, so you're on the interior. Yeah.
So that's interesting because it means that it seems to imply that they allow beggars inside the castle walls somehow.
Yeah.
Or at least they can get inside the castle walls. So I go back to the group and I let them know, hey, we're inside the castle walls, but we're not inside the castle. What's interesting is that there were beggars there. They were just sleeping in a dilapidated building. It seems like, I don't know, maybe there would be a way for us to get into the courtyard if we posed as beggars anyway, so not we didn't have to come this route, but I think we should continue to search the tunnel for other entrances that are maybe actually within the castle rather than just within the walls, but keeping this place in mind. I personally think we can do better. That's what I tell them.
Yep. And directly across from you, way over here, just for like a reference point, you saw one of the towers of the castle. Probably hard right now to orient and be sure exactly which one it was, but you do see a tower, a pointed tower rising up there. You can see out the gap of the what used to be a door right there. In fact, probably the nearby buildings you see, you're not sure exactly what they are. They're in better repair than this one, but all of them kind of look not great. Disused, for sure. You're not seeing anyone marching around inside the courtyard or anything right now. Not that you necessarily expect it. But yeah, I'll put us back on the other map. Yeah, there you are.
I relay all the great and wonderful things I've seen.
So we're hoping for a second better spiral staircase?
Yes.
Maybe.
Okay, let's keep looking.
I mean, even if this is the best we do, I don't know why exploring the tunnel better isn't worth it.
Fair.
It's up there.
It's the same big, large cavern.
Okay. It looks like here on it, it's either bats or rats. Maybe both. Do we want to clear this cave out just to make sure that they wouldn't interfere with our coming back in?
I think that we should carefully see how difficult it is to do that. Yeah, let's see how dangerous, if we can, separate out and see how dangerous they seem to be. I think there's value in that for sure.
If I step out here, do the bats seem to want to come at me?
Do they yell, "Come at me, bro"?
Yeah, they actually are pretty aggressive and do. I'm putting them on the map, but don't think of them as just sitting there. Be like, oh, I'm just gonna sit back and shoot them all. They're up a ways and they're just kind of gliding around up there, like in a weird frenzy. Having seen you guys down below, but if you do step into the caverns, for sure, one of them is going to start dive bombing you, and I will go into combat.
Okay, I'll step in and ready an attack for a dive bomber.
Griff is first.
Oh, okay.
That said, if he's just waiting, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't want to get attacked.
I
want Tilly to shoot them all from the little hallway.
You are pretty well below. I literally had just said you're probably not going to be able to sit back and just pling them all away. Like, you can find a target for sure, but
we can start.
The thing Andrew just said of let's sit back and let Tilly kill them all. I literally just said that won't work.
It'll work to start.
That's fair. You are significantly underground.
It wouldn't work for Bernard to do it, but Tilly's good enough; she can do it.
There is some risk if you do gunfire that could be heard, although you are pretty well underground. It's hard to say. Anyway, so Griff, you were stepping back. All right. These things are actually pretty quick, and they're swooping down. There's going to be 2 that come down. Bernard, you're not surprised or anything, but you're not ready yet to attack. One comes down, swoops at you.
I said I walked into the room ready to attack. Is that okay?
Yeah, but there's initiative, dude. I don't know what to tell you. They were ready for you to come in, too. Okay. When your initiative comes up, you can attack. You're not surprised or anything. Like, it's just a combat round where they went first. That said, he swoops down at you quite quickly, and unless you really blow your roll, he's not going to hit you.
Okay.
Well, Jesus. I mean, that's a start.
I'll re-roll that. I don't want to fumble here.
What's funny is that was still a success for you, it says. It was a fumble, but it was a successful defense.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you fended off pretty easy. I mean, it's a really big, scary looking bat, but it's not a combat master or anything. It's just this weird, awkward body trying to bite at you.
All right.
This other one, however,
is a combat body.
One sec. Comes down and breathes out like you were not expecting this. Breathes out a gas.
Okay.
Tilly and Bernard are both in it. I don't actually know how this works mechanically, so I need a second to figure that out. Perform an opposed ballistic skill dodge against intended targets. All right, let me see if I can target 2 people and what happens if I do. Yeah, you both can do dodge rolls, not a sword parry. That won't help against gas. It's real bad, Tilly.
Did mine roll?
It hit me in the arm.
Yeah, I don't think the hit location's a thing for this, but
I'll reroll.
Tilly, you had a -2, but it had a minus. Okay, so you won the tie. Okay. Tilly jumps back as gas starts pouring out of this thing's mouth. Sounds like Bernard's not as quick.
Nope.
All targets that fail take damage equal to the attack rating. I think it's just a flat 9. I don't think that quite worked correctly. Poison ignores armor, and you gain a poison condition. So you start coughing on some gas that hits you.
Okay.
I'm going to apply it manually because I don't trust what it's doing here. The poisoned condition, that wasn't it. Now I can't undo it. There we go. There it is. Poison gives you -10 to tests, and you lose 1 wound a round. At the end of each round, you can make an endurance test to try to remove a condition. Each success level you have removes an extra one. Heal test can do that as well. Anyway, you're coughing and gagging as some gas spews out.
Okay.
There's other bats flying around in there. None of them come down just because, I don't know, they don't. Dirk, you certainly see them moving around in there, though. You are up. I don't know if you're doing anything.
How many bats are we talking about here, Derek?
Half a dozen. They're really big, and they're moving along the ceiling. It's hard to count them. You guys haven't gone in there to, like, shine a good light straight up, right?
I'll hold the torch out if you want to walk in and count them.
It's a mostly dark cavern that you're looking up and over into. The main reason you see them is they're so damn big. Although most of that's wing. Dirk, you moved up a little bit, but you're...
I'm still just kind of judging it, and I'm gonna maybe jump in. Nothing yet.
So the good news for you is that you don't think they could get to you here, or at least it'd be really awkward for them to like come down and try to swoop attack you. The bad side is you didn't see that apparently they breathe gas, and certainly they could do that to you right there. Bernard, you're up.
Okay. Are they next to me at all?
Yeah, there's two of them. I mean, it's hard for me to understand exactly how giant bats attack and in a combat scenario, but certainly you can get a swing while they're swooping in or whatever is there. I don't think they land and like hop back and forth and attack you, but
Sure.
you know, turn-based game that we're abstracting. Yeah, they're flying around you and you're trying to get a swing in. It's a pretty good hit, I assume.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty darn good. Well, the good news is, like, you hit that and you cleaved right through the thing, and it... So basically, the one that swooped down and tried to bite you, he got the bite attack in before you hit him, but you, like you had said, you walked in ready and you just cleave it in half as it's doing its attack.
Okay.
Unfortunately for you, the other one, you know, breathed gas all over you.
Right. Is there...
And now, Trent. Oh, sorry, go ahead. What was you gonna say?
Is that gas enough to make me want to stumble out and get out of there, or
that's up to you. It's not forcing you to do anything.
Okay, you said at the end of my turn I could do something, endurance check or whatever.
It's at the full end of the round.
Okay, all right. I'm done.
Okay, yeah, Trent, you're up. Ooh, it's blessing you.
I'll use a fortune point. I can use a fortune point to add one success level, even though I didn't make it, right? That should.
I'll just go with yes. I don't really remember, but I'll go with yes.
Let's see if it plays nicely.
Of course not, but I can fix it.
Okay.
That should do. No, that still didn't really.
Yeah, no, I then have to hit the apply.
Okay. What does that do? Just so we know.
Should be +10 to his toughness.
Oh, cool. Will help his endurance check.
That was the point.
Does that give
Billy,
me extra?
you can take a shot for sure.
I'll shoot a bat. What do I target?
This
guy right here?
All right. I don't know, Dave. You should have a +10 modifier in your toughness, right?
I don't have any more wounds. I don't know if that's because that's a manual thing or if it doesn't count.
It gives you a +10 toughness modifier. I think it doesn't actually give you 10 toughness. Maybe.
Take that, bat.
Oh, that's pretty good. I'll roll a dodge, but I think you double killed it. Yeah, I don't need to roll a crit, but you crit it and you crit it, so it's dead. That thing kind of like, it probably landed and started breathing gas out, and you know, hopped backwards and shot it in the the wing, but then it impaled into the side of its body and it died.
Excellent. 5 more to go. 4 more to go.
See if I don't need to apply poison to one. You were already poisoned. Oh, it does the damage. Didn't roll the roll though. If I do that, will it do it? All right, you got to roll your test, Dave.
Okay. Just endurance.
Let me double check. I'm not wrong about poison. At the end of each round, lose 1 wound. If you reach 0, okay, maybe I'm wrong. If you reach 0 wounds when poisoned, you cannot heal. If you fall unconscious when poisoned, make an endurance test or die. Here it goes. At the end of each round, you may attempt an endurance test. If you successfully remove poison, yeah, okay, go ahead. Make your endurance roll. Hey, It's gone. The downside is you're fatigued.
Okay.
That sort of fatigue probably really just lasts for this combat, or at least until you can rest for a few minutes. But
All tests. All right. Cool.
back to the top, Griff.
Hey, get out a potion.
Some dead bats up there. You have a potion up.
Give it to my buddy Bernard.
Bernard, are you in a position to be taking a potion from him right now?
I
You see more bats flapping around up there.
Sure. I don't know. I've got a two-handed sword in my hand.
Yeah, that seems like that'd make it difficult.
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
Unless he's... Yeah. Okay. Bernard, Griff has one out ready to hand to you, but you are in combat mode, it sounds like.
Okay. Yep.
I'm going to give this guy a little athletics test. One of these bats comes streaking down towards Dirk, but realizes it can't really fit in there. Well, it doesn't so much realize. It tries, and it can't fit in there, so it doesn't actually attack. It's not really smart enough to be like, oh, I'm going to breathe right now, but, you know, that certainly could happen. Move the dead ones out of the way. Now that there's room, there's 3 more swooping down at Bernard. Luckily, none of them are breathing, but unluckily, they are getting a bonus for mobbing you here.
Okay.
May defend. Good. You may defend.
Jesus.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Okay.
I forgot to add their bonus. Now you may defend. Very, very good.
And one more.
One more. Wow, that's a bad roll. These things have pure rage and aggression, and apparently one gets through.
Okay.
That said, it ends up doing 1 damage to you because your armor soaks it all.
All right.
But yeah, they're flapping all around you. Think of them as, you know, flying by and not just standing there motionless. That said, doesn't really affect how your attacks are going to work. So let me get down to Dirk. What are you doing?
I'm just backing up so that they can't get me for sure, and hopefully can't even breathe on me.
You are not aware of the breath, but that's fine. That's still fine.
Oh, well, I think I'm going to swoop over to the other side and see how this group is doing and if there's any way I can help out.
Sounds good. Bernard, what are you doing?
I'm swinging at this guy.
How you doing? Yeah, that probably is going to do it.
Crit first or defense first?
I mean, it's probably not going to matter. Yeah, it's between 2 crits. I don't need to roll him. He's dead.
Yeah. Dislocated knee and severed foot.
Severed that bat's foot. Trent, give me a perception roll. Plus 40, actually. You know what? Just don't give me a perception roll. There's some rats coming, dude. Jesus.
Okay.
Do they glow? They do glow.
Rat.
Okay, yeah, you definitely don't need the perception, because apparently the rats glow. Look at how bright that is on the map. That's crazy.
Yep.
They're quite big. That's as far as they get this round. But you certainly see them. You could move up to them should you choose, but that's.
I just want to look at him for a second. Oh,
it's a lot of glow, huh?
Yeah, no, I'm holding here to hold ground for us.
All right. Given that you're not doing anything this round, you're ready for them. Just remind me when they get up to you that you can go first.
Yep.
Initiative. Stay away. Tilly.
I reload.
Exciting. All right, Dave. Well, you're not poisoned anymore, so that's good for you.
Yay.
should only have one advantage, not two. Griff, what do?
I guess I want to either put my torch down or hand it to someone who's not going to kill stuff so I can sword and shield.
I'll take it for now.
And I don't know about the rats, so I guess I'm going bat way.
Okay.
No,
you can get up there with Bernard, assuming he makes even a little room, which I'm sure he would.
Sure.
Feel free to attack a rat. Again, they're not stationary; they're swooping around, but you get the opportunity as they're dive bombing.
50
is a number. It might even be the number. That bat survives.
Aww.
I'm actually surprised.
What is your sword?
Just a standard, +4 weapon.
The bat had been chasing after Dirk, swoops around. You know what? He's just flying up in the sky. He's all agitated. Meanwhile, both of these are still going for Bernard. No longer at +40, though. Too bad for them. Why did they just lose one advantage?
Because he fumbled?
Oh, no, I did the wrong kind of bite. I did the free attack bite. I didn't mean to do that. Go ahead and roll defense.
Okay, what's his fumble?
I don't care. Roll defense. It's probably not going to matter. I mean, I'll find out, but I want you to do your defense first. Yeah, it doesn't matter. he tore a bat muscle.
Sure.
It's like Batman. You gotta say bat. You gotta say bat in front of everything.
Tore a bat muscle.
The other one also attacks you, but correctly this time. Hey, that could hit. The possibility exists. Alrighty. Dirk, you doing anything?
No, not right at the moment. I got a bunch of light sources I'm holding on to.
Yeah, sure. Bernard.
All right. This bat.
I guess you probably all can see a green glow coming.
Yeah.
I can see it on the map. Yeah, you cleave that one in half. Or, some number of pieces.
No, it's collarbone.
Did I skip? No. Did Griff miss? What happened? Oh, you just didn't kill it because you're weak.
Hit a guy, but
That's
I'm too weak.
Grant, I'll move these up just so you can attack now.
Without my bullet shooting, I am too weak.
Thought you were a strong guy.
Again, you see glowing eyes. Probably only 2 of them can get at you. But the rest are like... Think of them as all trying to get... Whoa, what happened? That was about a corpse body, okay. Think of them as all like trying to, in a pile, rush over each other to get to you. But effectively only 2 can attack. They'll probably do... Holy cow. The rat dodged with a 7. Dilly, were you reloaded?
I did. I'm ready to kill another bat.
I believe you. Shoot right through Griff to get it.
Pow!
Miss by 20, please.
I didn't.
No, you really didn't.
I shot him in the right leg.
You had a mere 121. 22 damage to bat leg. That bat's
gonna need a little peg leg.
Needs more than that. All right, there's some rats up here. I'm trying to chew on Trent. Let's see if they're any better than the bats at fighting. The answer is no. No, they're actually worse. They didn't go to They're not like.
We'll swing and miss at each other for a while.
Shit, it's not Shredder. Who teaches the team? Splinter. That's what we need. We need Splinter down here. One of the ones attacking you.
Well, the rats would be Splinter.
Yeah, where are these rolls when I'm attacking?
Yeah, right. Dave, I hit you one time with normal damage, right? For like a point?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You need me to unpoison myself or
no,
whatever?
just remind me of that later.
Okay, thanks.
Hey. Back to the top with Griff. Griff, you hear the sounds of combat coming behind you. You still can occasionally see up near the ceiling of the cavern one big bat flying around. He hasn't come down yet, though.
I don't know. Can I get to those guys?
I think one of you could get beside Trent. Right around there. Turns out these rats are not masters of battle tactics. They just kind of...
I go to there.
Yeah, you can attack. Well, good news is you got him.
Corrosive blood.
The bad news is he has corrosive blood, and as
I run back the other way. Oh, good news! I fucked one of his arteries.
blood goes spraying everywhere, all over the two of you. You each take a point of damage. That's it. Because your armor, I rolled a 2 in your armor and toughness, so but it's minimum 1, so you'll just have to apply that yourselves. As a little bit of sizzling, blood gets on you. It's giant bats flying around up there. It has not come down just yet. Dirk. Still holding all the lights.
Yeah, I think. Do I think that if I set down like the torches, I could fire my hand crossbow without potentially hitting?
No. You'd be at the, if you miss by, you'd be at a -20, and if you miss because of that, you would hit Trent. Just because you pretty much have to fire through.
At this time, I'm not doing anything yet.
All right. Bernard. All the ones in melee range are dead.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out my own potion.
Okay.
And can I get that down this turn?
Given that not much else is happening to you, yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Trent.
Yeah.
Just gonna move a rat out of the way because the other ones are they're just rabidly throwing themselves at you. So good news is dead. Bad news is blood everywhere.
No, he's using a blunt weapon. He's fine.
It's 5 minus toughness and armor, so I'm guessing once again it's a point to each of you.
Yeah. No, I'm actually using the lightsaber, remember?
Oh, that's worth it then. Cool.
That cauterizes, right? That's not going to splatter anywhere.
Nora's armor, that's for sure. Tilly.
I reload.
Hey. There's nothing for you to shoot at right now anyway. One rat tries to bite Trent badly, probably. One is going to try to bite Andrew. Andrew, I mean Griff. Hey, I believe in him. Okay.
It's close.
Show off. Yeah, it was real close. All right. Griff.
I decide to do further damage to myself.
Probably not much, though, really.
Ooh. Gross.
This time it's 7. That one, I guess, really got the blood all over you. But, you know, minus your toughness and armor. So I'm going to assume body for the armor. Like a uncharitable reading would be find your least armored area, but I feel like body is probably what's most appropriate here. Or potentially leg. I'll say if you have better leg armor, you can use that instead if you want. Because they're big rats, but they're still pretty low to the ground. Giant bat still, you know what? Let's give him a perception. Yeah. He's figured out to come dive bomb Dave. Even though you were kind of out of his line of sight and he was real focused on Dirk who disappeared.
I thought I backed up.
Oh, well.
Oh,
that's cool.
Well, I mean...
That's cool. No.
Echolocation, man. Echolocation.
All right, did he hit me?
I doubt it. Well, maybe, if you roll bad.
Where is it? There it is.
Dirk, anything? You're in the same situation. You have to shoot through someone.
Yeah.
All right. Bernard.
Yes.
You can attack or whatever you're going to do.
Okay. Sure.
Probably going to do... He's dead.
Ooh.
Trent. You got to get this before... Otherwise, Tilly's going to shoot at you. You know it.
She'd do it, too.
Wow, the damage keeps going up every time I roll. So this time is 8 on the splash, but you did indeed kill him. So 8 minus your toughness and armor. Corrosive blood all over you guys, but it did amount to a whole lot, hopefully. Dave, give me an endurance. Wait, hold on. Yeah, give me an endurance roll.
Okay. All right.
Is that in the range where I have to look up if you had a bonus? Shoot.
What do you mean?
Nope.
If I have a bonus.
You don't. Take one one point of corruption, sir.
Did the
Endurance, did my thing wear off?
Yeah, I don't have that
Has
modifier.
it been 6 rounds?
It has not been 6 rounds, Jared.
We're on round 9.
It's not been 6 since he put that thing on me.
That doesn't sound right. I don't think effects even wear off appropriately anyway.
It's only been like 3 rounds.
Did it wipe it out when he...
It's okay. Well, we'll say you made it because
the other.
We'll say you made it because of the thing. That said, it's definitely been more than 3, but it does not seem like it's been 9. So
okay.
Either way, here we go. Ending combat. Killed 1, killed 2. Yeah, it's probably 5 or 6 rounds. Anyway, whatever. You resist the corruption of the foul things having, clawed into you and whatnot.
Yeah.
Likewise, the 2 of you who had blood splattered all of you, give me an endurance test, but you guys do it at plus 20. Trent resists himself. Griff, you didn't need more corruption.
Well, I think I did the bonus backwards. Just a moment. I would never get more corruption.
I don't think you did, unless you've got a real high toughness. For endurance.
Fair enough.
Oh, well, take a point of corruption.
Score.
All right. The squeaking and whatnot has stopped. You don't think more rats or bats are around? You do still see glowing off to the west there, although it's a different color. The rats were glowing more of a green.
Did we lose Dave? There he is. Dave, take us somewhere. Go.
What?
We're all behind you.
Yeah,
lead the way.
Get in front and lead the way.
Sure. Hey, more green. Do we actually want to walk into green?
I'm just going to give you your weekly reminder that when combat is over, you can have your wounds tended one time with a heal check.
All right, fine.
I mean, I feel weird. I feel weird reminding you of that, but you never seem to remember. So, and I doubt it's because you don't want it.
Is it anyone other than Dave, Griff, and I?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, Dave, you get nothing.
Eric is cursed tonight.
Griff, you don't get hurt more.
All right.
And for myself, I don't get hurt more. Yeah.
Apparently, these are just not the kind of wounds you know how to treat. It was poison and corrosive blood.
Derek.
Yeah, Derek, thanks for that.
Poison and corrosive blood. You didn't know what to do about that, apparently.
Glad you reminded us of that option.
Hey, I won't do it next time. You're welcome. Anyway, yeah, go where you're going, or just tell me.
I don't know. I want to come over here. Wall clash. Let's see. All this green that I see is that?
What green?
There's green up here. There's glowing. Yeah. There's glowing down here.
That's more of a blue, but yeah.
Okay, but does it look safe?
So now, if you're right there, you can finally get kind of a good look at one of those glowing areas, and it looks like there's a bunch of like glowing mushrooms in there, like a glowing fungal mushroom thing.
I don't want glowing mushrooms.
Well, you know who does.
Yeah.
Pigs. Rats.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Wait, did you say Mushroom Man? Is it happening?
You know. I don't think you'd fare very well against Hackmaster spellcasters in Warhammer. What would you do against Magic Missile?
Yeah.
Or Fireball. I feel like you would just die with Fireball.
Do we want to check out these glowing rooms? I asked that to the party.
Yes.
All right, head in. You go ahead.
Tilly just
you got more hit points than I do.
Oh, I gotta check my bow. It needs some maintenance.
I take her bow and I throw it in the room.
Oh man.
You'll have to fight me for it.
Bernard, I'm removing your fatigue. While you were getting healed or whatever, you had some downtime there.
All right, I'll walk on in.
Hold on, Dave. Hold on, don't go in yet. I gotta. Okay.
Well, okay. What? All
right, I pick up one of these giant dead bat bodies and I huck it in the room.
You can pick up a piece of a giant dead. We're talking bigger than man-sized here. Well, about
bats are bigger than men.
No, they're about man-sized, but they had 12-foot wingspans, man.
Oh,
they're not tiny. They were giant bats.
They sure died quick.
Yeah, they sure did. They had 8 wounds.
All right.
Toughness
I pick off one of their heads and throw it in the room.
Sure. It rolls over some mushrooms and not much happens.
All right, go ahead, Dave.
Do any spores or anything come off the mushroom?
Well, give me perception. Here, I'll do a secret perception.
Oh my gosh! What did I? Yeah.
What you see?
Sorry, what?
Not that you see.
Gotcha.
Go on, Dave.
Well, then let's proceed.
So Dave, you do not die or anything. There's no cloud. You don't start feeling weird. There's no clouds of spores. They don't start to attack. You're probably trotting on them a bit as you walk here and there.
Okay.
But it's just a kind of a big cavern full of the mushrooms aren't even that big. They're kind of normal size. They're just all glowing.
If I pluck one, does it continue to glow?
Maybe for like a minute, and then it probably fades.
All right.
What if you eat it?
What if you eat it?
All right. I'll go down here. Do I hear any more squeaking or anything like that?
Nope. And what the glow you see here is just more mushrooms.
Okay. So just a dead end?
Yeah.
All right.
There's a little underground stream coming through here, but
yeah,
you would need to. It's not moving super fast, but it definitely looks deep enough that if you were wearing armor, you would just sink.
More rat.
You see lots of rat droppings and remains of their meals and stuff there. I'm sure it's bones, but like small bones.
All right, that looks like the only way in and out of this cave is that stairwell.
Well, then, all right. I mean, we have done really good scouting then. That's what I declare. I think our scouting was a huge success.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been better.
Let's go back and get some sleep at this point, because I need.
Well, it's still morning, but yeah, you could rest and eventually. If you head back out of the cavern, what's her name and her two people? What was her name? Recall Sigrid. That's right. Yeah. She's out there waiting for you. She's actually, seems kind of shocked you survived whatever the horrors in the cave were. Although I guess you guys probably do look a little worse for wear to some extent.
So, guys, I mean, before we leave, I say I'm a little concerned. We didn't find the creature that, we saw the first time on the ceiling. That has me concerned.
Forgot about that.
I mean, that thing's still, it's got to be in there somewhere. So, I mean, I'm fine with, I don't want us to get ambushed by it, basically.
What if we strategically corner it? Because there's not enough branching paths for it to back around us.
We didn't see it when we went in that second time, did we? At all.
What?
We didn't see it when we went in that second time. We saw it when we eventually went in.
When we came at it, it could have backed around and gone.
I mean, the reality is, I don't know that we were looking at the ceiling and we maybe just missed it. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been there and we didn't. Like, if it's crawling the ceiling and you're attacking like the rats or whatever, you might not see it. But I do think we should, before we. I'm not saying we go do it now, but I'm saying before we do whatever plan we're going to execute, I think we should go back in and try and find that thing so that it doesn't ambush us or maybe that courtyard entrance, maybe that can be locked. If it can be locked in some way and it traps us, I think that would be bad. We just don't know what we're dealing with in terms of intelligence or any of that.
One of the things I'd like to do is ask her, do they allow beggars into the castle?
Sometimes they do. Sometimes the gates are open. We're not sure why. It's definitely not out of the kindness of their hearts. We've talked about sending someone in there in disguise, but no one's really had the guts to do it. And they don't treat beggars the best, so like even fully in disguise, there's a chance you just die for it, right?
Right.
But yeah, they don't fully understand why beggars are sometimes allowed to come and go, although really none seem to go. They get in there and they tend to stay.
Yeah. Used up somehow.
They've never seen any guards take pity on anyone. They doubt they're feeding them, or at least not, if they are, it's not out of the kindness of their hearts. So yeah, exactly what's going on is kind of unclear.
I mean, are they being used to replenish the guards somehow? Like,
she thinks that seems unlikely given how frail most of these beggars are compared to the guards who are pretty beefy. But I mean, anything's possible with magic and whatever. I mean, they do say though, like they've seen the beggar. It's not like they're abducting the beggars and bringing them in there. Beggars just, went to the castle to beg, and were allowed into the, the inner bailey, the first outer bailey rather, the first part of the castle. And probably back before things got quite as bad. Some of them have been in the castle before to, go petition the Wittgenstein family for whatever. Back before the storms and everything got real awful.
Do you know of anybody that has been in the castle?
Yeah, they have a couple people. And to the outer area, and they can draw you a map as they know it. It's not going to be interior map. It's going to be here's where the towers are. Here's kind of the layout.
Yeah, I mean, anything they could give us would be good.
Yeah, I can do that. So you told her you found a thing up to the inside, or?
Yeah, there's a stairwell that goes in. There's a secret door that opens into it's a broken down room that some beggars were asleep in.
If you're going to try to take the castle by force, they seem like that is a great way to pour in there, because their defenses are going to be outward. You guys eventually get back to their camp, and she had a few scouts go look at the castle exterior, from the normal approach, and the guards are on high alert now compared to yesterday when you went up there, before everything went crazy. So for sure a frontal assault is not going to work, but coming up on the inside, that could work. I think we'll probably stop there, and I will draw what their map is going to be, and then she can be like, here's what we're willing to do.
Okay.
And then you guys can decide if you're down with that, or if you want to do that, or you want to do something else. But it's going to amount to, they'd probably help you try to take control of the outer part of the castle, and then if you cross the bridge and go to the inner, they will hold the outer while you go to the inner. She seems to have a lot of worry about not having a line of retreat, particularly if they go over that narrow bridge with all the forces.
Is that the place that it looked like we came up in? The outer,
It's hard to be
when
sure.
You say outer, when I saw it, I initially thought it was like something that was really hard to get to, something that was easier to get to, and there were like two separate buildings with a small bridge.
At least in the module, and I'm assuming this matches somehow what makes sense in real world castles. So I don't know anything about it. Outer Bailey is kind of the first castle area, a walled courtyard, towers, all that. and then there's like the outer gatehouse where you guys were talking to the guard.
Right.
Then there's an inner gatehouse right before you get to that bridge, and then you cross the bridge, which has a tower right in the middle of it. And then you get to, I think, another gate on the other side of the bridge. I'll find out when she draws what she knows in the map for you. And then you get to like a whole nother inner courtyard and buildings. And that's where like, excuse you, that's where the, or bless you, rather.
Thank you.
That's where the, like the Wittgenstein family would actually have their residence. That's where the nobles live. Whereas the outer bailey is more like the guards and the servants, and that's where the beggars are allowed to be. They're almost certainly not allowed into the inner bailey.
All right.
I'll have to create a sketch because I don't have a good map. But
Cool.
But based on that, yeah, you do think you probably were on the outer one of the two sections of the castle, if beggars were there. Seems real unlikely you'd allow them right around where the Wittgenstein family has their quarters.
Yeah.
All right. Let me give out some XP.
Hey.
I need
Did you give out experience last week?
I was trying to look that up, and then I got sidetracked.
Didn't happen.
Well, I've got 0. It didn't spend any, so I don't think we got any last week.
Then you knew the answer. What were you asking for?
I thought I remembered you giving some out.
I remember him saying he was going to do it right before we were done, but then it didn't happen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Or at least it didn't happen to me and Dave. Maybe we were penalized.
Yeah.
There you go. You should have just gotten 160. So a good thing to do now, just so we don't forget about it. You guys are staying here a day while you plan stuff out. It wouldn't be till tomorrow at least that you go, right?
Sure.
Do your rest and recover thing. Get your hit points back. That way, hopefully one of us remembers we did it already. You guys need to do is airdrop in by a blimp. Or with magic. He needs to die and make a magic user. Dave.
First time I die. I mean, I've pretty much almost run out of fate and resilience. So at that point, it may not be worth coming back.
I'm having a race between dying and becoming a super mutant. We'll see which happens first.
All right, guys. I got to head out.
Later.
Me too. See ya.
Later.
I'll talk to you later.
Oh, I should stop streaming. I will do that. Professional.